Welcome back to We Got Goosebumps, a podcast dedicated to the landmark horror series for children, written by R.L. Stine back in the 90s. I'm the shark that lurks just beneath the surface waiting to eat you alive, and I do mean that sexually. Dylan.
Wow. You shouldn't have meant it sexually. But anyway, I'm your scientist uncle who looks exactly like how you would expect a scientist to look. I'm Travis.
You know,
that's just true life.
Yeah, I honestly I was gonna say I would not
spot on.
That, yeah, I mean the thing about me is definitely not true. I don't know how to swim. I would be a very bad shark. But
I hear that. But
yeah.
You know what? I don't even know that I make a great scientist, but I do fit the part. And it's described in the book. You have glasses, you're balding. There's like another detail. And I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Well, I think they also said he's short, which is also true. You're a tiny man.
Yeah.
You're a tiny man.
I'm average height. I'm 6 foot.
You're a tiny man compared to me. Today we're talking about
much man.
Book 19 in the series, Deep Trouble, which was released in May of 1994. It looks like they actually timed this book to come out at the start of beach season, or at least to give kids something to be scared about coming up into beach season, because that's hitting that Jaws territory. It's the first summer blockbuster in children's horror book series.
That's a good call. I didn't think about that. I don't know if I've really thought about how they release seasonally, but I guess Piano Lessons or Murder was right around the cold months, or whatever the name of that book. I'm a little worse than you now. I don't know the names of books. Haunted Mask, I think, was an October release, so that makes sense.
I mean, I'm sure they had maybe a little bit of... I can't imagine they were actually releasing them as they're... You know, he's not like a month behind to say, all right, here's the next one. I have a feeling there's like a little stockpile. Well, that's why you have, you know, the occasional ghostwriter. I feel like every time we do a book after 17, which is going to be every book after, like now, because we've already done book 17, it's going to be like, all right, where's that sneaky ghostwriter? And just blame the ghostwriter for everything we don't like about each book.
That's what I plan to do.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like R.L. Stine's alter ego, the ghostwriter.
Ooh. Just a hard-hitting expose. We put together it's going to be our serial. It's, you know, we're going to go, we're going to figure out who the R.L. Stine ghostwriter is. And along that way, can we also figure out who the UK cover artist is? Because I do feel like I need to send them an apology letter or something.
No? Send them a bomb.
Whoa!
But,
well, that's going to get...
I feel like...
I think...
No, not a real bomb.
Am I editing this?
A drawing of one.
I'll definitely leave that
A drawing with one in front of Jell-O. Not a real bomb. Get out of here. That'd be weird. But R.L. Stine, his ghostwriter is just him without glasses on.
Could you imagine? But he doesn't know about it. He doesn't know that he's the ghostwriter. He's just like, he just leaves it on my front porch, and I take it in and I read it, and it's okay. But it's actually him the whole time.
I love it.
So, the ocean... I don't know why I'm starting off so like I'm about to start off a TV nature doc. So the ocean,
full of fish and water.
So the ocean.
I've been on the ocean. Have you ever gone out on a boat?
I have gone out onto a boat. In fact, when I was around the age of these children, I got to go onto a field trip with some older kids. Because my mom worked at that school that I was going to school at, and she pulled some strings. She just brought me along. And so I was able to go on a 5th grade field trip in, I can't remember. It's off the coast of North Carolina. Beaumont. I believe it's Beaumont, North Carolina.
Oh.
Where they're big about the pirates, because I don't know if you know this, but Edward Teach, a.k.a. Blackbeard the Pirate, he hung out a lot off the coast of North Carolina, and I believe they believe that he buried at least some of his treasure in the Outer Banks. I don't know if any of that's true about the treasure. I don't know about that, but the other stuff is definitely true. So if you go to Beaumont, North Carolina, there's a lot of pirate stuff. It's exhausting. Even as a child, it's just like, just buy me 3 or 4 more pirate cutlasses, and then I'll be happy. So they took us out onto a boat. And all the children, and it was like it was kind of like a marine kind of, we're going to show you the things in the sea. And so what they did is they threw a big net out behind the boat, and they caught all the things in the sea, and then they dumped them into buckets so that fifth graders and one fourth grader could just manhandle these things of the sea before they were then tossed unceremoniously back into the sea to tell horrifying stories of what happened to them during their abduction experience. And
sounds kind of fun, though.
this was the time where I first decided I'm going to start a list of animals that have bitten me, because it does give away the point of the story. But I was holding a squid in my hand, a small squid, just like it was smaller than my hand, and I was a child, so it was a very small squid. And it was moving over my finger, and I felt a sharp pain. And so I'm like, ow, because that hurt. And one of the people who ran the boat, a seaman, I guess you would call her, she was like, oh my goodness, yes, that squid did bite you. She seemed also like, ugh, like this might be a problem. We have a child who got, because I vaguely remember being kind of taken off to the side to be treated for my squid bite, which was bleeding. I got bit so hard by a squid. It was just a tiny little bite.
Like they're getting you away from the lawyers. They're like,
oh yeah, and just oh, don't worry about it. We'll take it. It's like, oh, dude. No, my parents definitely didn't go because I would not shut up about it. I was just like, oh my god, you see, I got bit by a squid, and my parents like, okay. So as a small child, I became aware that squid actually do have tiny sharp beaks, and they will bite you.
Yeah, if you're manhandling them.
Yeah. And then I personally tossed that squid into the water as retribution for its harsh treatment.
Well, it sounds like
finger.
you both made out from that deal. You got to go home and you got rid of a squid that was in your hand.
Yes. And I also nearly bled out on a boat from a squid bite. Well, not bled out. I barely even know. I grew up with cats, so this was less than a cat scratch. My arms, like they looked at the bite on my fingertip, and then they looked at the several thousand cat scratches up and down my forearms because I could not stop playing cat trap with the cats, which is when they're laying on their backs. And then
and then you go for the.
But as a child with no sense of self-preservation, I was just like, I'm going to get you this time. And then just like all four legs and just ravaged my arms.
I still do that as an adult man. I have Freddy Krueger hands from it.
You just can't help it.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
It's so fun. They got such fuzzy little bellies.
They do.
Your story, I mean, that's kind of a fun story. You got to go on an adventure. You got to touch a squid. You got to bleed on a stranger's boat. That's a dream of mine.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I was on a stranger's boat one time, Dylan. Let me ask you another question. You ever been peed on by a grown man?
I mean, I paid for it.
Now, this is where I made a list of people who have peed on me and were grown men.
Oh, how long is that list at this point?
It's pretty short for now. But I was on a
I hope this list still just has one name on it, right?
Yeah, well.
Okay.
So I was out there on it's got one name. I don't even know the guy's name. I just call him P Guy. I was out on this guy's boat. I had a work trip to Seattle, and me and my boss went. And we met up with this guy who was supposed to be helping us while we were there. And he's like, hey, you guys, you got dinner plans? You want to come out on my boat? I got a boat. And we were like, let's do it, sure. You seem like a nice guy. We'll go. We just met. He's like, yeah, bring your own snacks and stuff. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll bring some snacks. So we're out there on the boat. We got snacks. And he's all proud of his boat. He's showing us all the stuff about his boat. This does this. We're on Puget Sound. I think it's Puget. Puget. See, it's near Seattle. We're going in. And it's a windy day. It's windy. That's a key word.
Oh, no.
Yeah, windy. And he's like, well, I gotta pee. And he goes over to the edge of the boat and he pees into the wind. It fucking soaks me. I'm just sitting there. I'm getting peed on. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he can't make it stop. So he's like trying to like wrestle himself away from the wind.
Why don't you move? You're just standing there.
I'm moving. I'm moving, but it's like he's also moving. So it's like he's waving pee in the wind, and I'm just getting all of it. It was a horrifying experience. And he got it all over my snacks that I brought. I had pea snacks. It wasn't great. I showered forever after that. I almost dove into the water, killed myself. And everybody else was pretending they weren't seeing it. They were embarrassed for both of us. They were like, I was like, did you see what happened? They're like, see what? I didn't see him. Like, God bless you. It's got peed on.
Well, no, but what if they really didn't see it? It's like, why does Travis smell like pee all of a sudden?
I'd prefer that than them just watching me
get a golden shower on the high seas
while I'm like screaming. So some of it's going in my mouth. That's the worst. So anyway,
also
I've had
to stop. I've had to stop in midstream before. Why can't he? Like, sometimes there's an emergency. Like, you don't mean to be peeing on your friend.
Right?
You're like, oh, cut her off.
Yeah, what's up with that dude's prostate? Like, come on, man, flex it.
He was just like, I can't stop. And he just turns towards you. Like, he's just,
He's like trying to like scoot away, like further down the boat, but he just was wrestling it. It was just,
that just sounds rough. Reckless to me. That sounds just like...
It was a small boat. I got to point that out. It wasn't like he came over right next to me to pee. It was only so much space. Anyway, we both had terrifying high sea experiences, but maybe not as terrifying as our guy Billy.
More like
we'll find out.
High pee.
Let's see what Tim Jacobus has done for us this time. I like it. You got a big shark, hammerhead shark. That couldn't look more like a hammerhead shark. That's so it's like it is this part of the trivia. It's like he traced an image out of the encyclopedia. And, got a boy there about to get eaten. Very jawsy.
That's
giving
funny,
the hammerhead some love.
I'm pretty sure I've traced the shark on this cover before. Like, I'm just like, I feel like I did the exact same thing. Like, I wanted to draw a shark, and I just borrowed one from Mr. Jacobus. But maybe that's a
looks
false
good.
implanted memory.
You know something I've never noticed on another book cover before? Is Jacobus signing his name and the year on it.
Oh, yeah.
And you see it down there below the tail. That says 93, right? So maybe to your point, these are written quite a bit in advance.
Oh, yeah, especially, like, yeah, that's the other thing I didn't really think of. These are not quick slapdash, Maybe that's the problem. Maybe the UK had a tighter time constraint in getting those covers out. Made that... God, I really can't leave shit alone.
You don't have to spackle them.
I don't have to spackle it. But I bet you that's what it was. It's just like, all right, we've got these 10 kids' books. They're going to be hitting the shelves one after the other. By the way, that starts in 1 month. You should probably get started. And the guy's like, if I cover most of the cover with gelatin, then I don't have to do as much work. Face in the jello. Face in the jello. Like, and just one after the other. That's what I'm going to assume.
There you go. Makes me feel better. Makes you feel better. I like this Jacobus cover, though. I think it's pretty good.
I feel about this the same way I do about the Werewolf of Fever Swamp, where you just have a cover of a scary regular animal on the front cover. And hammerhead sharks are scary, and hammerhead sharks are also known man-eaters. They are known to be aggressive towards people, which I appreciate that. Like, it wasn't just like, oh no, it's another great white. Like, hammerheads, I believe, are actually supposed to be more aggressive than great whites, or at least maybe. Yeah. I think maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not going to dig myself even deeper into speculation, but it's a very good shark. I even like that it's got a very, because I'm assuming that real they might be that dark. Because it almost looks like a killer whale kind of thing. Like the top part is very dark, and it's got that white belly, and the child swimming above water is beautifully rendered. Like, it's a very good depiction. But, and this is going to be a question I'm going to ask about 50 more times. Where the fuck is the sea monster that's actually described in the book? Like, why didn't anyone choose to... They all did a fucking shark. And again, sharks are scary animals.
Does that give away the ending too much if they focus on the sea monster?
But it's not just... It's literally the third chapter they introduce the sea monster.
Right, the possibility, yeah. Huh.
Not even a possibility.
Does he describe it in good detail there?
Yeah. He says, like, it was like an octopus, but it had 12 tentacles, and it wrapped around my legs towards this maw, and it had one giant eye. Because he describes it more in the dream sequence as that, and then, spoilers for later, he does see it one more time. But
that'd be like, a 12-a-puss, wouldn't
it? Dodecapus, I think, actually.
That's way better.
Yeah. But, like, and since the sea monster is kind of a fake out in the story anyway, put it on the cover, because then kids are going, oh yeah, that's the monster. Although we find out the real monster was man. Oh, sorry, that was a spoiler. But why not do the monster?
Well, I see your point.
I'm not mad at Jacobus about this. It was one of those things that as we continued on,
you're mad at the Koreans. They're the ones that set the standard for weird.
As it goes on, I mean, they didn't even get the shark right. Let's be honest. It is a great cover. It's just not my favorite style. Just like the Werewolf of Fever Swamp was also a great cover. Neither
Just
cover really makes
werewolf-y.
me. Yeah, because I as a kid I wanted to read books about supernatural creatures. Like I was less interested in a book about a child being eaten by a shark. That's boring. Meh. Like I especially when you know the child's not actually going to get eaten by the shark. So
Yeah.
And in Werewolf of Fever Swamp, at least it's it's a werewolf. So yeah, it does look like a wolf.
Not wear enough.
Yeah,
More wolf.
like even if it just had like some tattered shirt on, maybe that would have been a little silly or something. Yeah, something. But no, it is a great cover. It's just the subject matter doesn't engage me as much. But it is well rendered. I love how the reef looks in the background and like the light through the water. Like it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And this is something that happened in the story. This is a scene. This is an actual scene. Did you because you're a horror movie guy. I know you have an affinity for Jaws. Did you catch the tagline on the cover? Just when you thought it was safe.
I have a different. So I have the re-release, I believe, the 2003.
8?
No. It's whenever they re-release them again, or not, but they didn't redo the cover art and everything. But it's this style.
Right. Yeah, it's 2003. Gotcha.
Mine says swimming lessons won't help you now.
Oh, okay. So mine's a reference to Jaws 2, and for some reason they didn't carry that over for you. Maybe because it was 40 years after a movie no kid had watched at that point. What's
interesting is Jaws 2 takes place in Amityville, in Amity. It's just Amity Island. I can't remember.
Yeah, Amityville's different.
Amityville's is on Long Island, or Staten Island. Who gives a fuck? So anyway, I don't even remember what my initial point is. Jaws 4 is the one that takes place in the Caribbean.
Oh, that would have been fun. Yeah.
But I don't think anyone really enjoys Jaws 4 as much as I enjoy Jaws 4 because
would have been tough to find a tagline that would have resonated, I think. Yeah.
It's probably better that they just went...
Yeah. And then in 2008, Brandon Dorman got to do the redo. We have a maybe more realistic Hammerhead in the way the Hammerhead should look. Maybe Jacobus did go a little bit too Shamu with it. But...
although the front, I think the head's a little more like misshapen in this case.
Yeah. Everything is always a little squiggly and wonky with these. I don't know. It may be one of the better ones from this series just because the words aren't hiding too much interesting content. But
I feel like it would have actually been better without the skull cave on the back. Like the skull cave. Too busy. Like they always feel a little too busy. And if it was just that shark's fucking terrifying. I appreciate that shark. And it looks a little malformed because I don't think hammerheads have, because it kind of has like this rippled brow.
Yeah, it looks like it got its face shut in a car door or something.
Yeah. Wicked.
Yeah.
Is that Finding Nemo, like the Nemo and his dad on the front? There's like there's two orange fish on this cover. One clearly larger than the other.
Every orange fish is Nemo. I know that.
I mean, it's a weird coincidence, I feel.
All right. You want to head over to Europe? Where do you want to go first?
Let's get the UK out of the way.
All right.
Because I will give them... my heart has softened on this one, knowing the time crunch that the artist was under to get these out the door.
Believe in his own spackle.
Also, because this is one of the few covers that does have tentacles on it.
It has tentacles, and the background goo kind of makes sense because it looks very much like water.
Yes.
So it's concealed itself.
That being said, I think this is actually a decent cover from the UK. With one exception. One thing that bothers me. It's such a weird choice. Why are his eyes yellow?
Yeah, why are his eyes yellow? What is he? A cat?
I don't know. It's just weird. It looks like he's turning into a werewolf of something. But it's an acceptable cover. Yeah,
I think so. I think that they did a good job. I'm going to say this is, in my opinion, so far, easily the best. Easily.
Yeah. With the exception of You Can't Scare Me, which was hilariously bad.
I was going to say, some of them I appreciate because they make me laugh. This one actually is this one is so good, I would ignore it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, that looks appropriate.
But it's
some
also...
of their stuff I have to stare at for a minute because I'm like, what was it thinking?
I think actually this highlights one of the issues I do have, because I was looking at this as like, what aside from the fact that his eyes are yellow, very strange. I think the problem with most of them is they're too light. Like there's too much light in the, like if it was darker, I think that would actually help. I would actually sell this, and as it looks like he's like in a bathtub or a pool that is so well lit, and there's these tentacles coming out of the pool, which is scary in and of itself, and then you have to ask why scuba diving and cool, but not scuba, snorkeling. No, I think it's an acceptable cover.
Very good. Well, good job, UK. You finally did it. You made both Dylan and I somewhat proud. And now France, they had some ideas. The first version there, they got, I don't know what you call this style. I don't know. Minimalist is not it, but it's definitely, it has less detail than what Jacobus typically does. But for some reason, that makes it much more terrifying. It seems like an 80s French horror movie cover. Everything they do is very inspired by them. This is also very inspired by Jaws. It's the shark from the bottom that's mouth agape, except it's got hammerhead eyes on it and some feet dangling in front of its mouth. It's well done. I think it's creepy.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, it's aside from the fact that the shark is only in like 2 chapters. I like the fact that that they went in a completely different direction for. Literally, it's the same concept. It's a shark and someone swimming, and they just went in a different way of conveying that. No, I like it a lot. Like you said, it does read as like some Italian studios knockoff of Jaws from like 1982 or something like that, and it's just like, yeah, that's what this is.
Sometimes they nail a vibe. And then the French had a number of versions they released, most of them just with that cover, same cover. Sometimes it was angled, weird. But then version 6, which I guess is more recent, I don't really have any details as to when this came out. But this one's fucking crazy. This one's probably, I'm going to guess, like one of your favorites, just because it's got that sea monster.
I mean, this also reminds me of, because for a period in the 80s, they were like super into underwater horror movies. Like The Abyss came out, and they're just like, well, let's do 6 of these. And I like Deep Star 6, I think, is one. The Deep is another. They all have also kind of, yeah, that takes place underwater, scary. One of them has Ernie Hudson in it. It's amazing. That's probably my favorite of those. But anyway, so this reminds me of kind of that 80s like monster aesthetic. Like I can totally see that monster being in one of those movies, and it looks terribly unconvincing in the movie. Like, but all those tentacles whipping around and stuff. Right, it's amazing. Right. This is the thing. This is the monster. It's way too large, I think. I don't feel like Billy could have gotten away. Billy? Is that the kid's name? Yeah.
Billy, yeah.
I don't think Billy could have gotten away from that at all. I was going to say he would have been less likely to get away from it, but no, I don't think he would have gotten away from that thing at all.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. And then Korea, they removed the hammerhead piece of it. They just have your prototypical pointy-nosed shark.
I mean, aside from the fact that this is also, those are a bunch of sharks.
Yeah,
all like those silhouettes around. Yeah. I mean, it's a fucking badass poster. Like I would, that's another Korean book cover I'd want to have. Like it's just coming straight at the viewer. The eyes, like I love the little highlights it did underneath the eyes to really make them like stand out and everything. It's beautiful. I mean, it's the most deceptive of all the covers in terms of describing what's inside the book. But
yeah,
it's probably my favorite.
I mean, I get why they did what they did here. They wanted to sell these books, and making references to Jaws is a great way to do it.
Yeah. There's so much blood. So much blood on this cover.
Yeah, I was just thinking, don't really hold back on that part.
I was just thinking, it's just like, oh, like, it would have been great if like the werewolf had blood on its snout. And it's like, oh, there's no way they would have put blood on any of these books. After they're like, you can't kill kids, Stein. It's like, oh.
Yeah. But then Korea just covers their shark in blood.
I love how the policy is like, you can't kill kids, wait 4 years, then you can fucking just mow them down. Because it's not like they're that much older in the Fear Street books. They're like 16 or 17. And she's like, oh, then all bets are off. Like, just entrails everywhere. It's fine.
Our Fear Street podcast coming in about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's get into the plot. Let's get into some deep trouble.
So we start off like we're back to the first person because last time we had Monster Blood 2, and that was from the third person. Now we're back to the kid telling us the story himself, but right now he's telling us that he's William Deep Jr. of Baltimore, Maryland. He's a famous 12-year-old underwater explorer, and right now he's looking for Joe, the great white stingray. I think it's also a giant white stingray too, actually. Hold on. I'm going to keep saying this in this voice. Maybe it's a great white stingray. I think this punk kid said, I was like, what's scarier than just a stingray? A great white stingray, right? So he's looking for this giant stingray who he's named Joe because they're on a first name basis. It's already stung 10 swimmers in the area. And as we know from Steve Irwin, may he rest in peace, that's nothing to laugh about because they can kill you. Mm-hmm. So he talks about all of his past successes, how he captured the great white shark of Myrtle Beach. I don't know why I went so hard into the Boston. He's like, he's from Baltimore? I'll show him. Baltimore, more like suck it more, please. So fought a giant octopus that ate the entire California championship surfing team. Unplugged the electric eel that shocked Miami. It's easier to do an accent too if you're just reading. By the way, he like the way that he starts describing it as being this, this series of almost like comic book level adventures. Just I got that electric eel, is shocking all Miami, but don't you worry, pulled him right at the outlet. That means I killed it. But then, just when he thinks that he sees Joe, the great white stingray, realizes he can't breathe. Someone's cut off his tank supply. Oh no. Oh, someone must. I don't know who would be trying to stop him from getting Joe. Like, does Joe have stingray friends that were just like, we'll mess with his tanks, then he can't get Joe? But he's looking for a swimming partner. He needs to get out of this situation. He needs help. And he's looking for, but then she pulls him to the surface. But unfortunately, everything goes black. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, no. What's going to happen? Oh, it's his bratty sister, Sheena. His 10-year-old little sister. And, of course, he's getting a little bit too into fantasy. He's all into this imaginative play. She has no imagination. And she just hates it when they go out swimming. And he's a total dork. He's just geeking out. She hates it. She doesn't believe in monsters. She doesn't believe in Santa. She doesn't believe in the Tooth Fairy. She's just a real dud of a human being. Ugh. You know what I mean?
I hate those people.
I still believe in the Tooth Fairy. And one day I'll find her.
That's because people still keep trying to take your teeth to this day.
I will fight them. So why are Sheena and Billy hanging out in some water? Well, it's because they're on a vacation with their uncle, who's a marine biologist. His name is George Deep. I just love an ironic name when your last name's Deep and then you go into deep sea, marine biology. It just kind of works. Doesn't work for everybody, though. Like anybody called, like, Jimmy fucks him good. He usually doesn't. It's always, it never works in that guy's favor. Anyway, George Deep, he owns a Sea Lab boat. He's a researcher, scientist out there on the water. His boat's called the Cassandra. He's out there. He's got his Sea Lab. He invites these kids on every year or so. They hang out with him for a little bit. And he goes by an interesting name, Dylan. They call him Dr. D. And, man, I tell you, I don't know if at that age I'd caught on to D being kind of a perverted punchline.
I feel like that's more recently a widespread thing. I don't think that was always as often a...
But goddamn what I wouldn't give for someone to call me Dr. D. Ugh. But anyway.
I'm more likely. I just need the doctorate, and my first name starts with a D.
You could be.
I'm much more likely to get that doctorate in Deology.
There you go. And I also have a small penis, so it doesn't even work that way for me. Just out of luck. So anyway, he goes by Dr. D, and Billy says, like, even my dad calls him that. Like, that's a full-on name for everybody's calling Doc. No one's calling him George.
I mean, he called him Dr. D when they were kids, is the weird thing. Like, he was just like, Dr. D. But that was for entirely different reasons. Right. What'd you do with Stephanie at the high school after prom? I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't go to my prom. Can you tell? Because what's an after prom? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's when you go home.
No?
But Dr. D looks like a scientist. Okay, we've been over it once, but he looks exactly like one because these are the 3 qualifying attributes for a bona fide scientist. You got to be serious, you got to have glasses, and you got to be balding. Look, hey Dylan, look up. Is that me? Is that my scientist? You see that?
I mean, yeah. I when I see you, I'm often like, oh, that is definitely a scientist.
Serious glasses, balding. That's all it takes. You don't even need the degree. I went out of my way for that. So, this year,
Dr. D does not actually have a doctorate.
He's got a D though.
Mm-hmm.
But every year they go hang out with Dr. D. He's taking them all around the world. This year, though, they happen to be hunkering down around the Caribbean islands. All right. And the kids are able, they're welcome to get off the boat. They're all trained. They know how to swim. You got an uncle like this, you know how to swim. They got their snorkeling gear. They got their flippers. They got their swimsuits. And, they're kind of free to hop off the edge of the boat, swim around a little bit as long as they come back, as long as they obey Dr. D's orders regarding how far to go out and how careful to be. And while they're out in the water, Dr. D's like, nah, kids, there's been shark sightings out here, so you need to be a little bit more careful, all right? Don't swim out too far. Which is a mistake. Billy heard shark, and he was like, oh, shit, I want to go see a shark. Billy's excited to see a shark. He goes, oh, I get to see one. So he gets to swimming around. There's a reef. Not a wreath. That goes on your door at Christmas. This is a reef. And it's sort of around the lagoon over there. I don't know if you know anything about reefs, but they're often, they got pointy things in them. They're often pretty, but they're scraggly things. And Dr. D says, yeah, don't go over there. Don't go over there where that's scraggly. You go over there and you'll get all chopped up.
Well, we do find out that there's a really good reason not to go there. And maybe if you just told Billy the reason, Billy would probably been like, oh, yeah, that sounds bad.
Yeah. Just poisonous wildlife trying to murder you, Billy. And he was like, nah, don't go over there, Billy. Why? I can't tell you right now. But anyway, Billy's curious. He wants to explore. He wants to see all the little fishes and all the little plants and all that stuff. And he scoots on over there. He's a kid. He's like, I'll break the rules a little bit. I'll just swim over here. And while he's over there, something grabs his legs and tries to pull him under the water. Gum.
So he feels the slimy tentacle start to drag him down. He's crying out for help, screaming. He knows death is imminent. Imminent? Oh, imminent. No. I forgot how.
Death is soon.
Real soon, he's going to die underwater. And as someone who can't swim, I feel like I need to stall while I pull up this reading. Here we go. So Billy's getting pulled into the water. And he looks to see, because he's still got his little mask on, so he can still see under the water. He probably shouldn't breathe at this point now. I feel like the snorkel little sticky up thing, so no breathing. But he can see. And underneath, he sees a sea monster. Through the churning waters, it glared at me with one giant brown eye. The terrifying creature floated underwater like an enormous dark green balloon. Its mouth opened in a silent cry, revealing 2 rows of jagged, sharp teeth. An enormous octopus, but it had at least 12 tentacles. 12 long, slimy tentacles. One was wrapped around my ankle. Another one slid toward me. No! My arms thrashed the water. I gulped in mouthfuls of air. I struggled to the surface, but the huge creature dragged me down again.
Yikes.
I couldn't believe it. As I sank, scenes from my life actually flashed before my eyes. I saw my parents waving to me as I boarded the yellow school bus for my first day of school. Mom and Dad, I'll never see them again. What a way to go, I thought, killed by a sea monster. No one will believe it. Everything started to turn red. Felt dizzy, weak. But something was pulling me up to the surface, away from the tentacled monster. I opened my eyes, choking and sputtering. I stared up at Dr. D. Billy, are you all right? Dr. D studied me with concern.
Whew, that was close.
But unluckily for Billy, because I feel like this is the sad part, like if you nearly die, but no one believes you, especially in this case, he's just like, oh, I was pulled under by a sea monster. He's like, you've been drinking again, Billy. Like, just fess up to it. Creature's gone. No one believes Yeah, like Dr. D is just like, I think that was probably seaweed, Billy. He's like, no, it was not seaweed. Sheena's kind of an asshole throughout most of this book. And just like, sea monsters aren't real. Dr. D doesn't believe in sea monsters, and I don't believe in sea monsters. And he's just like, oh, God, I hate everybody right now. So Billy's just like, fine, you know what? I'm going to race you back to the boat, Sheena. And Sheena's like, you're on. And he's like, wait. I lost my fins to the sea monster. She's like, fuck you. And she flips him off and she swims off with her fins and she's moving much faster. He's like, there's no way I can catch up to her. I know. I'll cut across the reef. It's like, Billy, Jesus Christ.
We've been over this, Bill.
Literally. But you know what? The risk is worth the reward in this case. If he beats Sheena back there, bragging rights are worth everything. So he cuts across the reef. Dr. D is like, Billy, that's against the rules. You have to stay within the lanes. Billy's like, ain't no rules in child racing, and just keeps going. Stops to catch his breath for a second, decides to rest on the reef, puts his foot down, and then just screams bloody murder, bum bum bum.
Oh, man, what's he done now? Dr. D comes over. What's all this screaming, Billard? I told you not to cut across here. He pulls out his foot. He's like, this hurts real bad, Doc. And Dr. D's like, well, you stepped on fire coral. You dumb asshole, look at your foot. You stepped on the fire coral. That stuff will burn you. He said, well, you'll be all right. You wash it off and put a little Bengay on. You'll be all right. And meanwhile, Sheena, she's all heckling, laughing at him because he got hurt his foot, and she beat him back to the boat. She's just being 10. Ugh. And Dr. D, he doubles down. That's why they call him Dr. D. He's always doubling down. He was like, listen, I mean it. Don't swim over there. That stuff, that fire coral, you're all right now, but that doesn't mean you go back and you're all right next time. It's got poison in it. It could paralyze you, all right? You stay away from over here, Billy. I fucking mean it. I'll drown you in a tank.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, all right, God, okay. So they head back toward the Cassandra, and everyone's kind of swimming separately. Billy's probably a little further behind everybody because he's got a boo-boo. And he feels something tickle his leg. And it actually feels like fingers are grabbing at him as high up as his thigh. Wait, is that seaweed? The hell? Sheena's not near. Usually Sheena, sometimes she'll duck underwater and play a trick on him, pinch him or something like that, but she wasn't around there. So what was down there? What's got a hold of his leg? Boom, boom, boom.
We don't know.
What? We don't?
No, we're left in suspense. What was going at Billy's thigh? I hope it wasn't Sheena. Like, this... We've already got Dr. D. Like, I don't like how this story's playing. Let's hopefully, like, things normal out a little bit and there's not, like, some hunky young college student on the boat or something.
Yeah, that'd be gross.
So they get back to the Cassandra, and Dr. D's assistant, Alexander Dubrow. What is that name, by the way? I don't know. Dubrow?
That just seemed so out of left field. I was trying to find, like, sometimes, there'll be some, like George Deep Sea. I was like, what the fuck does Dubrow? It sounds like an online university.
Oh, God, but it's just all the worst kind of... Learn how to get a degree in organ donating, blood donating, semen donating. At Alexander Dubrow's house. Like, wait.
Wait a minute. I like how it gets there before you're like, hey, wait a minute, his house?
You too can make money off of donating your organs. Just stop by my place after midnight. And I will show you how to make money. So, Alexander Dubrow... Like, Billy comes out, I got attacked by a sea monster. And Alex is just like, oh, Billy, you're a fool. Now, Alexander does not look like a scientist. It's important that we're aware of this fact. He, in fact, looks athletic and handsome and cool and not like a fucking nerd. Yeah. That's how... So,
he's the
like,
opposite of me, essentially.
The whole time, Billy's just like, The whole time, Billy's just like, he doesn't look like no scientist to me, which should have clued us in that something's amiss.
I know. I fell for it, though. I was like, he's just one of the few handsome ones we have in the science community.
That's true. He's never described as being pudgy or balding or covering up his hair with a ball cap or anything. Like, Alexander Dubrow is a fine specimen of mankind. The last time we saw one of those, he was an asshole. He was the bully in Monster Blood 2, Conan.
Conan the Barbarian.
He was also described as being tall, athletic, and handsome, and he was a jerk. So Alexander Dubrow is he's a college student. He's helping out Dr. D with some Jesus Christ. Just really, it's just the two of them alone on this boat doing.
Dr. D and his assistant. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. Jesus Christ.
It sounds like a Richard Gere movie. Dr. D and his assistant.
What Richard? Just because of one gerbil thing, you're just like have a whole other idea. So
he was in this because back in the day, me and my buddy would we'd rent movies and we saw this one. It was like, it was Doctor Something and the Women, I think was the name of it, because it was supposed to have nudity in it. And it was awful. It was like we're 13, right? We're like, we'll see boobs, we'll rent boobs, and it was honestly not worth it to sit through. It was Dr. T and the Women, Richard Gere. So it wasn't about the gerbil this time. Okay, he just I can't help that he gets referenced every Goosebumps.
Yes, you can, because you're the one making the reference. Anyway, Alexander Dubrow, he's the ship's cook, and I don't understand why, because everyone hates his cooking. Like they do try and take it away from him, but he's made chicken salad, and they're scared of this. And like chicken salad only really does have 2 ingredients on the base level. Obviously, there's more stuff you put in there to make it nice, and actually, but like it's canned chicken, I'm assuming, on this boat, and mayonnaise. I'm concerned where they're storing the mayonnaise, but I mean they have places to sleep, so it's probably a much bigger boat. Anyway, I forget, they gave an example, I think, of something he made earlier that was just like, this was unacceptable, and Billy's the only one who's willing to try the chicken salad, because like Sheena's just, I'm just gonna get cereal, and Alex is like, what are you doing? I made chicken salad, it took me 5 minutes, and Billy takes a big bite, mouth catches on fire because this madman added enough chili powder to chicken salad to make it inedibly spicy. And so then everyone was just like, we're just going to have cereal. And Alex is like, why doesn't anyone like my food?
Yeah, odd choice.
Alex is showing Billy and Sheena the lab, showing the sea creatures. At one point, Billy's like, what's this do? And presses a button, and a loud noise goes off, and Alex is like, that's the horn. And please stop. And Sheena's like, don't touch anything. Dr. D said don't touch anything unless Dr. D said you could touch it. He's like, Sheena, shut the fuck up.
There's so many... This chapter was hilarious. Like, them talking about the food was hilarious, and then him hitting the horn literally made me crack up. What's this? Honk. That's the
it makes the boat honk. So Alex is like, I think Billy's just like, I want you to show me the sonar depth charge thing. And I was like, I do some chores first, and I can show you the sonar. He's like, he's pretty cool about it. He's just like, like, I don't care that 2 kids are annoying the shit out of me while I'm trying to actually do work and get a graduate degree, but whatever. And he's like, I just need to feed Biff a black ribbon eel. I have a question for you, because it is known that you're scared of snakes. Does this fear of snakes translate to animals that are in no way, shape, or form considered snakes, but in every other application might as well be a snake, like, say, a moray eel, which is a long, tubular animal with sharp, bitey teeth?
Yeah, I don't like the way they move. I don't like that they can bite. And I also don't like that they hide in water where you can't see them. So yeah, I'm not into them.
Okay.
I think they're delicious.
Not a big fan of eel, actually.
Every time I like
it, well, oily. Yeah, like it's an oilier meat. Yeah. Also, did you know that sea snakes, the species of snakes that specifically lives in the ocean, in saltwater environments, are the most highly poisonous snakes on the planet?
I didn't. I will stay out of the sea.
You should. Yes. If anyone says, like, look at this sea snake, Travis, you need to, we would be running already, but you need to run especially fast. They're very brightly colored, so they're not as dickish as a moray eel, where they're like, I'm going to hide in this rock until you walk by. They're just like, don't touch me, I'm colorful. And then you don't touch them.
I appreciate the warning.
Yeah. But Biff is a black ribbon eel. They're actually really cool looking. You should Google them, black ribbon eels. And while they're talking, Alex is I forget what exactly he asked them about, but Alex is like, oh yeah, this thing's broken, and Billy's just like, why don't you get it fixed? And he's like, oh, we don't know about money, the grant situation, like, I'm terrible at writing. If you think I'm a bad cooker, I'm just the worst grant proposal writer as well. I'm dog shit at it. Oh my god, don't know why Dr. D lets me. I don't know why he has this voice. I don't know why Dr. D lets me do it. It's just, I don't know. Last time we had to pay them money. So things are a little rough. And Billy just thinks like, oh god, he can't lose his boat because Dr. D is just the biggest asshole when he's on land. He came to Christmas one year, and apparently the whole time, which is funny because he's not like this in the book at all, but he's just like, stand to starboard, and he's just like, do you have like a mental illness when you come on land? Because this is not healthy. He's not a jerk at all in the boat, but like on land, he's apparently like, I must take control of the situation. You need to swab the deck, Yari, and just like, okay, it's Christmas, and you're in my room. Go away.
Swab your own deck.
And in this case, D does stand for Dick, but it's Dr. Dick. Like that, I feel like that was passed around a lot. It's like, oh, it's Dr. Dickhead.
Right.
Yeah, all Christmas.
Oh, I love that he played in the bathtub all Christmas. That was
with Billy's toys, with his little boats. It's just,
that cracked me up. That was very good.
So, boat comes up alongside the Cassandra. And I believe it says on the side of the boat, it's like the Marina Del Rey aquarium and whale fucking shows or whatever. And they're coming up. Alex goes over to talk to them. The kids have to feed Biff like little guppies. Well, Sheena's a baby about him, runs away. I shouldn't make fun of Sheena because I would get emotional feeding bugs to my Venus flytrap. And when I say that, I mean 2 years ago. Like, not when I was a child. I mean, like, now. I would just feel bad. I'd be like, no. I mean, you have to eat, but like,
life.
Do it fast. He's like, it takes 3 days. But while the grown-ups are busy, Billy's like, I'm going to get out onto that reef and if I can see that sea monster, I don't care about fire coral. He does admit that he's a little scared about it, but he needs to prove it. And it should be important to note at this point, because I will not let this chapter die, that Cassandra in Greek mythology was a prophet, a seer, who went up to Apollo and she's just like, I would like the gift of prophecy. And Apollo was like, all right, but you've got to bang me. And she's like, all right, give me the gift of prophecy first. And he's like, all right, boom. And she's like, haha, I'm not going to bang you. And he's like, well, fuck you. Then boom, no one will believe your prophecies. And she was at Troy. And she was just like, we're going to burn to death and everyone's going to die if we don't get GTFO. And everyone's like, Cassandra, you stupid woman. Because they didn't know the story. Like, I'm sure she told them, well, then they wouldn't believe it. So what we have here is, you have Billy. No one believes Billy's sea monster tales.
That's interesting. Thanks for adding that to the... Yeah, thanks for adding
You're welcome. But anyway, so as he's heading out to sneak out and go into the fire coral reef, which he's heard that if it got into his bloodstream, he would probably die because his uncle's just like leaves it open-ended, which is a bad thing as a grown-up. I feel like when they do that, they're like, I don't want to scare him too much and tell him he's going to die if he touches the coral. No, tell him that because Billy's stupid.
Yeah, you will die.
He hears the people talking to Dr. D and leans up against the door and takes a little looky-loo. And not a looky-loo, a listen-loo, whatever. But he hears a zoo official tell Dr. D, I don't care how you do it, but I want you to find that mermaid. And I feel like not only Billy, but also the readers were just like, what the fuck? Like, mermaid? And a goosebumps book? Bum, bum, bum.
So they're like, a zoo man mentioned mermaids. They must be real. A zoo man. Zoo men only talk about things that are real. They talk about lions and bear cubs and anglerfish. Mermaid. If they said mermaid, then that's real. Billy says, well, if she's real and she's out here in this water, maybe I could find her. What if I found her? What if me, Billy Deep, found her? That'd be awesome. And he keeps listening through the door, and this is what he hears. Mr. Showalter, Miss Wickman, please understand, I heard Dr. D saying. I'm a scientist, not a circus trainer. My work is serious. I can't waste my time looking for fairy tale creatures. We're quite serious, Dr. Deep, said Miss Wickman. There is a mermaid in these waters, and if anyone can find her, you can. I heard Alexander ask, what makes you think there's really a mermaid out there? You established that.
I love how his voice is not only very weird, but also he's very dumb in our versions, which, let's just,
Yeah, why not? The man from the zoo replies, "A fisherman from a nearby island spotted her. He said he got pretty close to her, and he's sure she's real. He saw her near the reef, this reef, just off Elandra Island," which is where they are. "The reef," this is Billy. "The reef. Maybe she lives in the lagoon." I leaned close to the door. I didn't want to miss a word of this. "Some of these fishermen are very superstitious, Mr. Showalter," my uncle scoffed. "For years there have been stories, but no real reason to believe them." "We didn't believe the man ourselves," said the woman. "Not at first, but we asked some other fishermen in the area, and they claim to have seen the mermaid too, and I think they're telling the truth. Their descriptions of her match down to the smallest detail." I could hear my uncle's desk chair creak. I imagined him leaning forward as he asked, "And how exactly did they describe her?" "They said she looked like a young girl," Mr. Showalter told him, "except for he cleared his throat, "the fishtail. She's small, delicate, with long blonde hair." "They described her tail as shiny and bright green," said the woman. "I know it sounds incredible, Dr. D, but when we spoke to the fishermen, we were convinced that they really saw a mermaid." There was a pause. Was I missing something? I pressed my ear to the door. I heard my uncle ask, "And why exactly do you want to capture this mermaid?" "Obviously, a real-live mermaid would be a spectacular attraction at a zoo like ours," said the woman. "People from all over the world would flock to see her. The Marina Zoo would make millions of dollars." "We are very prepared to pay you very well for your trouble, Dr. D," said Mr. Showalter. "I understand you are running out of money. I can tell by the way you let a young boy cook chicken salad that's just mayonnaise, chili pepper, and chicken. That's disgusting. What if the university refuses to give you more money, huh? Then who are you going to have cook for you? That young boy you got in there?
Boy. That young, supple boy.
Yeah, a young boy that's a little supple, maybe? It would be terrible if you had to stop your important work just because of that." "The Marina Zoo can promise you $1 million, said the woman. "If you find the mermaid, I'm sure your lab could run for a long time on that much money." $1 million, I thought. How could Dr. D turn down that kind of money? My heart pounded with excitement. I pushed against the door, straining to hear. What would my uncle's answer be? What's Dr. D going to say? Dylan, down!
I don't like the idea of putting it into a zoo.
Fair.
Luckily, the documentary Blackfish hadn't been released at this point, and so Dr. D believes them completely when the representatives from the zoo say, like, they'll treat her very well, just like our orcas.
Womp, womp.
It's gonna be great. And if someone else found them, they probably wouldn't treat her anywhere near as well as we would treat her, which is always like the kind of nonsense you see in this kind of setup where it's just like you have money men going to scientists and saying, like, get King Kong or whatever. And they're just like, well, we shouldn't do that. It's like, if someone else did it, they'd probably fucking do terribler things to it than we're going to do. So here you go. It's like, okay,
Yep.
that's terrible reasoning. I feel like none of you should be doing this. But he swallows it hook, line, and sinker.
Oh, look at you.
and Dr. D's just like,
Baited me in on that one.
I'll just that's fine. Whatever. $1 million to torment one poor creature. Why not? And so they say they'll come back in a couple of days because searching the entire ocean should pretty much only take a day tops, really, but to give them an extra couple of days just in case. But then there's a large crash. I was going to say large and loud, and I made lard. A lard crash. But then there's a loud crash. The boat rocks, and Billy tumbles into the door, through the door, and into the room. He's caught. Bum, bum, bum.
Uh-oh, now he's in the room where all the adults are talking. And I gotta say, everyone's pretty surprised to see him all of a sudden. They're like, whoa, what the fuck? Is that a boy? Wow. Billy's first words to the room, I love this. He's like, hi. Nice day for a mermaid hunt. Huh? Probably looked around waiting for acceptance. Right? Right, guys? Pretty good day out for that, wouldn't you think? Kind of outing himself that he knew. The zoo folks are upset because the secret is out. Now a 10-year-old boy knows there's going to be a mermaid. And Billy says, like, I'll keep quiet. I won't even tell Sheena, my stupid sister. I won't even. But what kills me is, like, they're going to hunt for mermaids. If they caught a mermaid, Billy's going to know. You know?
Well, the other thing I was thinking is, like, the kids are staying on the boat. The only way they could tell anybody is if they're not on the boat. And they already said they're going to be back in a couple days. So all Dr. D has to say is, like, they're going to be on this boat. They could tell each other all they want because they literally can't communicate with the outside world. So, like, by the time we get back to shore with them, problem solved, hopefully, or not solved. Like, it's such a weird, like, just say, like, I mean, he's not going to get on the radio and, like, just horn in the news, but...
Mayday, mayday, mermaid, mermaid. Yeah, probably not. But anyway, he said, I won't even tell Sheena. I promise. But he thinks about it, and he's like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I found the mermaid, and then I could call myself William Deep Jr., world-famous mermaid catcher. Ah, that'd be sweet. They'll remember me then. They'll have my face up on billboards all around town with me smiling, holding a mermaid's fin. I don't know. It'd be fun. And then the zoo folks leave. Kind of ends his fantasy of being the Steve Irwin of catching just hot sea chicks. And that night, Billy can't get over it. He's like, I gotta be the one to find the mermaid. I gotta do it. I gotta get out there. Now, you know what? I'm gonna sneak into the lagoon. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and hop into. I'm gonna find her tonight. I'm not even gonna wait. So from the book, he says, from deep below me, I heard a low rumble. I listened hard. The sound, faint at first, grew louder. The waves tossed as the sound became a steady roar. It rumbled like an earthquake on the ocean floor. The waves tumbled and tossed. I struggled to stay on top of them. What was happening? Suddenly, from the middle of the lagoon, a huge wave swelled. It rose higher, like a gigantic geyser. Higher, over my head, as tall as a building. A tidal wave? No, the wave broke. The dark creature pushed up underneath it. Water slid off its grotesque body. Its single eyes stared out darkly at me. Its tentacles writhed and stretched. I screamed. The monster blinked its muddy brown eye at me, which is a weird detail.
The look you just gave me. If you know what I mean, Dylan. It's like, you don't have to draw a diagram. I got it.
That one snuck right up on me. Reading it out loud made me catch it. It was weird. Anyway, he says, I tried to turn and swim away from what is, I'm reckoning now, is a giant ocean butthole. Yeah, but it was too fast. The tentacles whipped out and they grabbed me, tightening around my waist. Then a slimy, cold tentacle wrapped around my neck and started to squeeze. Dumb, dumb, dumb.
Yeah, it was a dream. So he wakes up in his bed. His sheets wrapped all around him, apparently so tight around his neck that it felt like the choking grasp of the Caribbean butthole monster.
I dated her.
That's... Well, we're not talking about that on air. So, it's early in the morning, though. Is anyone else awake? Puts on his bathing suit. He sees coffee on the warmer. So Dr. D must be awake. So he's got to be quiet now. Sneaks off, gets a snorkel, flippers, mask, gets into the water. Starts thinking about that mermaid, like, wonder if she's pretty. Can she talk? Oh, yeah. She's got a vagina.
Wonder if she could play Yahtzee with me because it'd be kind of fun to have someone else to play Yahtzee with.
Oh, that's much more wholesome than what I just said. He's nearly past the reef when something brushes his leg. There's a lot of things brushing legs, and I understand that's the scariest part of getting to the ocean, but Jesus Christ. Sorry.
A lot of leg brushing. You're right.
Yeah. Something brushes his leg and his ankle, and something's scratching at him. And it can't be seaweed, because seaweed doesn't have claws! Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, man. Just learning that. So he screams and thrashes and kicks, and finally Sheena's like, stop kicking me, Jesus! And turns out it was Sheena trying to play a trick on him, and he had been kicking and thrashing around, and he kicked his sister. But she knew he was up to something. She had followed him. She'd seen him sneaking around, and she's like, yeah, I followed you out here because I saw you sneaking. I knew you was up to something. What are you doing? What are you out here, catching mermaids or something? Wink, 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 wink. And I wouldn't know anything about that. He's like, I was just snorkeling. That's all I was doing. She's like, yeah, right, at 6:30 a.m.? She's like, you're up to something or you're crazy. He's like, oh, I guess I'm crazy then. I'm just a regular old silly Billy. She's like, well, we should get back to the boat because if Dr. D doesn't see us there, he's going to be pretty upset. He's going to be real sad about it. Billy's like, all right, it was a good call. Guess I wasn't really finding what I was looking for out here. I'm crazy. I wasn't out here looking for anything. Who said that? Then he sees a big splash nearby. And Sheena yells at him. She's like, no, Billy, don't. But he's already racing toward it. He's like, that's probably a mermaid splash. Mm-hmm. Definitely. I'm going to swim over there. I'm going to see what's going on with all that splashing. She was telling him, no, he should have listened, Dylan. Dumb, dumb, dumb.
So, I just love how you phrase it. Billy hauls ass. And he's like getting toward, like, but he's looking for a safe spot near the fire coral. He's not in the fire coral because it's a little stingy. Check out what make that splashing. Then he sees another splash. Starts swimming towards that instead. But then his mask clouds up and he's just like, oh, like takes it off, trying to like clean it out and stuff. Mentions specifically, puts it around his wrist. He starts looking around and he sees Finn. He's like, oh, Finn's above water. That's reminds me of shit. It's a hammerhead shark and it's coming right towards him. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah, that's a bummer. And he looks around and he says, what do I do? Surveying the situation. Looks for Sheena. Where's my sister? Sees her out in the distance. She's heading toward the boat. She has her back to him. She has no idea that he's about to be sea lunch. And now the shark's circling him. Was that funny to you? Sea lunch? That get you?
Yeah. I don't know why. It's like when they put like space in front of things that don't make any sense. It's just like, well, I'm gonna get on my space computer. Like that is just like he's about to become lunch. Sea lunch. Like
well, is that worse? You snorted, but when I said it, I was like, I hate that I said it. I wish I had. When you laughed, I was like, oh, he's being condescending. He knows it was a bad joke. Anyway.
No.
The shark's circling him because he wants sea lunch. He's circling him. And so Billy's like, I guess I'll head for the reef. Maybe it's kind of a decent plane. You don't want to be like out of the depths. At least there's something. So he heads toward the reef, and the shark is now swimming between him and the boat, sort of cutting off his escape route. And it's starting to circle around him, and the shark circles are getting tighter and tighter. Putting on the it's what they call it in the shark industry. They say we're putting on the squeeze. They're squeezing him, circling tighter and tighter. And he's able to, it's close enough he can see it now. It's about 10 foot long, head like a hammer, implying perhaps a hammerhead shark. And then, here I'm going to read a little bit. He says, I heard my voice quivering. No. So, something cold brushed my leg. That was for you, Dylan. There's still a little bit of leg brushing. And he's like, the shark. My stomach lurched. I threw my head back and let out a howl of sheer terror. This is how it's spelled. Aye! That's a howl of sheer. It's A-A-A-A-A-I-I-I-I. Aye!
Honestly, that sounds more like I sat on something hot. Like, that's more, I feel like, the sound of aye! Like, right. I shouldn't have sat on that hot poker.
Right. Or my tacos were too hot or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Pain jolted down my spine. The shark had bumped me with its snout. My body rose out of the water, then hit the surface with a smack. I froze. The shark was hungry, wanted sea lunch. It wanted to fight. It circled me again, then zoomed straight for me. Its jaws opened. I saw rows and rows of sharp teeth. I screamed out a hoarse, no! I thrashed, panicked. I kicked with all my strength. The razor teeth brushed by, brushing him. Still brushing him, Dylan. The razor teeth brushed by, just missing my leg. Didn't brush him that time. Close. Wanted to, didn't. The reef. I had to get to the reef. It was my only chance. I dove for the coral. The shark plunged toward me. I dodged it once more. I grabbed the red coral like a stupid fuck. I grabbed it. Pain shot through my hand. It was the fire coral. I took a gamble. I saw a red coral and I was like, could be fire coral, could be strawberry. That's too red. Could be fire truck. Nope, it's fire. I didn't care though, because at least it's not being eaten by a shark. The top of the reef sat just above the surface of the water. I tried to pull myself up. My whole body stung. I had almost made it. Soon I'd be safe. With a mighty kick, I hoisted myself onto the reef and was yanked back into the water. My stomach slammed against the side of the reef. I felt a sharp stab of pain in my leg. I tried to pull my leg away. I couldn't. It was caught in the jaws of the shark. My mind screamed with terror. The shark! The shark! It's got me! Dum, dum, dum.
So he slips back into the water. Also, I believe there is a marine animal that does hunt seals by, like, catapulting them out of the water.
Oh.
I don't think it's hammerhead sharks. I think it's like some species of dickhead whale that's just like, fuck this seal, boop, and just like rockets it. And then when it hits the water again, things aren't so great.
Oh. For the seal?
They're not playing. I have a hilarious seal story I'm going to tell you. I say about a sea lion, which also enjoys sea lunches. So there's this diver. He's a wildlife photographer. He's out in the middle of the thing. There's a sea lion out there. He takes pictures of it. They become sort of close. Keep in mind, sea lions have been known to attack divers in the past. So they're dangerous. They're big animals. So keeping his distance, taking pictures of the sea lion. Sea lion's clearly observing him over a couple of days, being like, what's going on, buddy? And one day, he's taking a picture of another sea lion, and then feels something bump him. Turns around. Sea lion has brought him a dead penguin.
Aww.
To feed him, because he's clearly like just sitting out there, probably starving. He's like, thanks. And like, there's like, by the time he's done photographing that day, there are multiple dead penguins floating in the water around him because the sea lion's like, what is wrong with you, buddy? Let me go kill another one. It's just like, jeez. The ocean is terrifying. Yeah, so anyway, Billy slips back into the water, got no strength left to fight. He knows he's done. Like, this is definitely, he's like, I'm definitely gonna be the second kid to the second kid to die in Goosebumps. Not because the first it was Hannah. I think Hannah's the only kid who starts the book alive and ends it dead.
Mm-hmm.
I think all the other kids, I mean, there's ghost children in the first one, but they're not alive at the beginning of the book. So Hannah is a Goosebumps child who did not survive to the end of the book. And Billy's like, I'm next.
Mm-hmm.
The first Hannah, then Billy. But then something splashes nearby the shark, and the shark moves and diverts and goes after this thing that splashes. Because Dr. D even told him earlier, is like, if you do see a shark, wait, no, that's Alex's voice. If you do see a shark, you've got to like swim slowly in clean strokes. They're attracted by agitated motion, and that's true. If you are in the ocean, there's a shark nearby. Panicking makes it worse because then they think you're a dying animal that should be eaten. But if you keep it together, just float maybe.
Like the old bear trick, you play a little docile. Yeah,
that's not, the bear trick might not work. They're not, it depends on the bear, I think.
Yeah.
I think playing dead is actually not.
Grizzlies, it's recommended.
Yeah, I think grizzlies. Brown bears will kill you no matter what. There's nothing you can do to stop it. Black bears, you can just kind of smack on the face and they'll be like, no. Yeah. Don't actually do that. I forgot that we're being recorded and this is going to be distributed. So anyway, shark heads towards this new splash away from Billy. At first I thought Billy was going to like, I'm going to take a piece of fire coral. But at no point is Billy effective in this book. So we really, this just sets the stage for every other encounter that happens in this book. But the shark decides like, yeah, I want to eat Billy. Comes right back around, mouth filled with teeth, multiple rows of teeth in there because they just lose teeth like nobody's business. Just row after row of sharp, razor sharp teeth going to Billy. Closes his eye, waits for his death. It's going to be horrifying. He's going to be torn apart and just bleed to death in the water. Ugh. It's awful. But then something goes between him and the shark. Something with a long green fish tail. I don't know if you have memory problems, but I do think that was something that was mentioned earlier. But it looks like another fish is fighting this shark.
Wow, I wonder what kind of fish it is.
And the fish is like putting up a good fight, so it's got to be like
marlin.
Yeah, something big like a marlin. So just it's beating the shit out of the shark with its tail. Like this shark is just like, stop it! This is just embarrassing. And he leaves. He just leaves because he's just like, I don't get slapped anymore.
No sea lunch for me, he was heard saying.
Fucking hate you. And Billy hears this beautiful yet sad musical sound. He realizes it's actually the angels as he looks down and realizes he's been bitten in half. Actually, no. It's this whistling and humming and the thing that's saved him. This fish that has saved him lifts its head and it has long blonde hair.
What?
It's a mermaid. Whoa,
oh my.
I don't know what accent that was, but it's a mermaid. It's a mermaid. It's a mermaid. Bum, bum, bum.
As I was adding the notes to the sheet, I got tired of typing mermaid, and I wish I had just called them merms. And in my head, I was just referring to them as merms. So anyway, we got a merm. She pops up out of the water. Now, Dylan, I feel like, this seems like wonderful and magical, and he's just had his life saved and all that. But imagine you didn't know that there could be mermaids in the water. I feel like this would have been a more terrifying reveal if they hadn't tipped it off in the conversation with the Zeus. Like, if this were our first mermaid encounter in the book, I think this would be a much more jarring. But at this point, I was like, yeah, of course it's the mermaid.
It's the mermaid. Well, that I agree with you, but I'm also like, if they had just dropped a fucking Ariel-ass mermaid in the book without preparing me first, I'd also be like, what the fuck is a mermaid doing a Goosebumps book? Like, I would have been upset as a child, I think, if I hadn't been prepped. At the time, I'd be like, oh, they're hunting mermaids. That's kind of weird. And then a mermaid shows up, and I was like, okay, delivered. But if it was just like, all right, kind of time to read my monster book. I love monsters. What's this horrifying thing that could scare off a what the fuck? Like, I would have been so mad. I would have been like, so the thing that fought off the shark was a delicate, thin, beautiful blonde mermaid? I would not have liked that. No, I would have vomited in my own mouth.
And also thinking about it in a real scenario, if you just watched a giant fish beat the hell out of a shark and then it rose up and was a mermaid, are you scared or are you turned on? What are you? I mean,
you've heard me talk about The Lure, which is a Polish musical about mermaids. I'd fuck a mermaid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Billy stares at this mermaid, unable to speak, as most of us would be. We'd be like, okay, is that... all right, that can't be real. That can't be what I'm seeing. And immediately he's like, this mermaid lives underwater, probably speaks English. Yeah, down here in the Caribbean. I'm going to go ahead and try to have a conversation. So he's like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you for saving me. How can I repay you? This is incredible. I've never been saved from sea lunch before. This is awesome. And she was trying to talk, it seemed, but he couldn't really make it out. She does a lot of clicking and whistling. She sounds more like what I imagine like a cricket or a cicada sounds like. She doesn't really vocalize anything. She looks at his hand, though, and she's like, well, it looks like you fucked your shit up on that red coral. I bet you pulled fire out of the hat. Yeah, that's tricky. Sometimes they're strawberry, but it looks like you got wrong. And she touches his hand and heals it. She's magic. That's the only time she ever uses her magic. It's weird. She heals him. She has healing magic. Weird.
Well, I mean, she's never in a spot to heal anybody after that.
Is that the only magic she has?
Just heal? She also beat the shit out of a shark. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, buddy.
You know what? Yep. I like that. She has the power of Neptune. I forgot about that part. And then, she just leaves. She just sinks under the water and leaves without a trace, which to him kind of bums him out because he's like, wait a minute. No one's going to believe me that I just saw a freaking mermaid. How do I lure her back to the boat? And then he feels a pinch on his foot, and he's like, oh, what the heck? Net comes down, grabs them both.
Wait.
She pinched his foot. She was playing around with him.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a cute moment because she was clearly fucking with him because he sees her in the water I don't know if laughing because
that's what his sister does to heckle him, but she thought it was cute. Yeah,
she was clearly the thing back in chapter 2 or whatever that was like touching up his thigh.
Weird. That is weird. And, maybe she's 12 as well. I don't know. I don't know if it's okay. I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
He does say, I think, in the next chapter that they seem to be about the same age, which maybe explains why they're never talking about her chestological region. Like, it's just like she's a mermaid. If you're a pervert, like one of the key features of mermaids is their
Yeah, she's probably wearing a top. They probably have a mermaid TJ Maxx somewhere under the water. So, yeah.
That just makes me think that she is a child because they just kind of avoid that whole subject without saying she's wearing like a seashell bra or whatever. Yeah, they're just like,
She has green tail and blonde hair. That's all we need to know.
Yep.
But yeah, I forgot to bring it home on she was flirting with him a little bit, trying to be playful. And then a net comes down, grabs them both up. Uh-oh. Now they're the deadliest catch. And the mermaid begins to scream, which is always described horrifying in this book. Dum, dum, dum.
Dr. D and Sheena are pretty amazed. They've...
Jackpot, look at our mermaid.
Yeah. Mermaid is clicking and screaming. This is awful. This basically for like the next couple chapters, where she's like, she's screaming. She looks like she's dying on the deck. Like, I hated all of that in terms of just like, this sounds wretched. Like, just this whole time, woof. Like, Billy's
it's
just
a hostage situation.
Yeah. Everyone's excited. Billy's like, can you A, let me out of this fucking net, and B, what are you doing to my mermaid girlfriend? Dr. D's like, don't worry, we won't hurt her. Even more than ever, he's just like, I'm Dr. D. He's like, I need you to stay away from my mermaid, because I don't trust you at all anymore. But he's like, I'll set her free after I study her more.
Yikes.
Ugh.
Man, I guess that's what he's scientific.
But then,
it's just weird.
But then Billy knows how to really stick it to a scientist, at least one that hasn't sold his soul yet. He said, like, you just want the money, Dr. D. Dr. D's like, no, Billy. I want to dissect her for science, not for money.
Want to see where she pees from. Aren't you curious, boy?
It's like, I already know where she pees from. Like, what? Dr. D's like, I do need the money, Billy, so I can continue my research and dissecting mermaids and watching them scream. It's like, I really don't think we should be helping you. Billy feels pretty sad for the shrieking half woman. Let's talk about the fact that half of her looks like a person in some sort of mortal terror, and everyone's just like, meh. And Billy's like, I'm really uncomfortable with the ropes, and it's just like, no, you're staying in the net until we get back to Cassandra too. Don't you worry. It's like, what the fuck? Like, he's literally described as they're in a dinghy. Billy and the mermaid are trapped together under this. He's like, let me out. And he's like, no, I need to study you. What has she done to you, Billy? But they have a huge tank on board that's not ready. Well, I guess that makes sense because they didn't know that Billy was going to be fucking a mermaid on the coral. And they have to empty out this tank. Then they toss her in there too. And yeah, she's dead. She just slumps lifelessly to the bottom. And I'm assuming like one bubble comes out of her mouth and just like and floats up to the surface as her just cold gray eyes stare.
Oh man, that's terrible.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. Well, one mermaid down. We probably got an ocean full of them. Let's see how many more we can find. But nah, Sheena runs around the other side of the tank and is able to see the mermaid's face and can see, oh, she's okay, but she's still crying a lot because of the whole hostage situation we've created here for her. I bet she misses her family. Oh, that's sad. But they're like, I bet she's hungry. Huh? What do you think we should do? We should feed her? We should feed her. What does she eat, wonder? And they're like, I don't know. It's weird. We're scientists, but we don't really know what a mermaid would eat. Dr. D's like, well, we'll just throw everything at her. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hop in the dinghy here. Does anybody need anything? I'm going to run on down to Kroger just to shop around, get a few food items, come back. We'll throw a whole bunch of stuff in the tank, see what she bites. I'm going to go over to Santa Anita. That's the fictional island that's nearby. And he's like, anybody want anything? And they're like, yeah, peanut butter. Because they're like, I don't know what Alexander's going to try to feed us next, but as long as we have peanut butter, we'll be okay, I think.
Yeah, I think he said, like, I don't think Alex can fuck that up. And like Dr. D is like, you're probably right. Like, because earlier they did say like no one wanted to eat the chicken salad, and like Billy and Sheena was like, we'll cook, and like Dr. D said, don't worry, I'll cook dinner tonight. And like Alex is like, like, dude, come on, be better. Like, it's not that hard to cook, honestly. Especially, never mind. Sorry.
Well, anyway, they might get peanut butter. That'll be better. And now they turn their attention to the mermaid, and she's so sad. She's cooing sadly, which is that's a sad sound, I'm sure. She's staring at Billy from the tank. How could you, Billy? I saved you from the shark, and you're just going to lock me up here in this water closet you keep on this floaty thingy? And what's peanut butter? Can I have some? And Billy, he's like, you know what? My heartstrings are being tugged a little too hard. I don't know what Dr. D is going to bring her back for sea lunch. But before he does get back, I'm going to try to feed her some stuff we got down to the hold. I'm going to head down to the galley. I'm going to get some chocolate chip cookies. I love chocolate chip cookies. Sheena loves chocolate chip cookies. Dr. D loves chocolate chip cookies. Even Andrew will sometimes eat chocolate chip cookies. Universal favorite, this mermaid's going to love chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to get some chocolate chip cookies. I'm going to put them in the tank. So he brings them back, and Alexander's like, Hey, what you got there, bud? I was going to feed cookies to the mermaid. And him, being a budding scientist, is like, sure, toss it in. Who gives a shit? Who knows? Who knows? We're not going to give it to her like in a modicum amount. We're just going to throw whole cookies at her, see what she does. So they toss it in there. Alexander helps, and she ignores it. She's like, these are not for me. I'm not into it. No thanks.
This also upset me because just thinking about that cookie being in the corner of her tank, she's like, thanks.
I know, and they talk
It's
about
so
how
gross.
soggy it is, and it fell apart, and Billy's like,
It's
now
just
I
a
wouldn't even eat it.
crumbly little thing of like, ugh. She's like,
Now you
thanks
made the
for
water
fucking
all
up my
leaky.
new house. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, it's all weird. And that, Alexander's like taking notes, and he's like, I better go get my notebook so I can take more of these notes about how she doesn't like cookies. I'll forget that if I don't write it down. I'll go get my notebook. I'll be right back. And he leaves Billy with the mermaid. The mermaid's all sad, all so sad. She's this is a rough day for a mermaid. And Billy's like, that's it. I can't do it. Alexander's not in the room. Dr. D went to Kroger. I'm going to set this mermaid free. I'm going to do it. Dr. D will never forgive me, but I got to do it. Dumb.
So then, Billy pops off the lid. Then he's like, okay, now how am I going to get her out? Like, we find out this is a very large tank. Water. Yeah. Like, how's Billy going to pull something his size out of this tank? But then he feels a hand on his arm. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, wait, no. Actually, this continues. And it's Alex. He's like, what are you doing? All right. What's the voice we gave him?
Yeah. What are you doing?
What are you doing? I don't understand. Why'd you take the lid off the tank, Billy? And Billy's like, Alex, we have to get her out of here. She's going to die in there. Look how sad she is. She's crying. I don't know, Billy. I think Mr. D wants to do something special with her, and we can't just throw her back in the water. Dr. D will put me in the cage again. Let's go down and look at them sonar probes. So he takes Billy down to look at the sonar probes, and then Billy is like, sure, I did express interest in the sonar probes. And he's like, they're bullshit. They're not even something cool. They just tell you when the boat's about to fucking hit against the dock. Like, I'm sure it's just like, oh man, it's probably like some sort of radar thing so you could see the whole ocean floor and be like, mermaid, sea monster, boom. And it's just like, nope, it's just a rear view camera. So Alex is like, hey man, let's make some lunch. And Billy's like, please no. Like, I'm already sad. Please. And Alex is like, no, don't worry. I've got something amazing. You're going to love this. You're a 12-year-old boy who's from Baltimore, right? You know what people from Baltimore who are 12 really like? Squid soaked and marinated in ink. It's like, oh boy. Yeah, that's what Billy wants. Big. Yeah. Like, I think even at one point Alex is like, I soaked it in sweet ink and that's why it's gray. It's like, okay.
I also like the detail that he tried to offer it with normal food. He's like, and then we'll have some bread and tea. Like, for some reason that made it worse to me. I was like, oh.
Wet, marinated, cold squid. That's gray. There are recipes that use squid ink, and they are upsetting to look at. Like, they're just like black pasta. It is. Ugh. It's a little upsetting to look at. I don't want to shame another culture, but I'm not used to it. Billy's just like, he's taking the food up and they're going to eat on the deck next to the mermaid because that helps my appetite, seeing a mermaid crying endlessly. She's like, how can I even see her tears? She underwater. But you can see them, just the tears running down her face. He's like, oh my God. But then she looks at the squid and she's like, oh, gray squid. Yeah. She's like pointing at her stomach and like Billy's like, oh, fuck yes. Drops some in. She takes it. She scarfs it down. She likes Alex's cooking. And he's just like, boom, boom, just dropping squid in there, left and right, left and right.
Kloosh.
Alex comes back and he's like, our lunch! What did you do to all our lunch, Billy? And he's like, I gave it to the fucking sad-ass mermaid, Alex. And Alex is just like, at least someone likes my cooking. Dr. D then comes back. Every time I say Dr. D, I have to go immediately back into like my most like, fucking Dr. D. He comes in and he's just like, hey, oh, hey. So apparently he has tests that shows she's sending out sonar like a whale, hence the clicking noises. Dolphins also make kind of a clicking noises underwater. And it's likely she's trying to communicate with other mermaids for help. So not only is she crying in this tank, she's also sending out constant cries to be saved from her people that you've separated her from. Just awful. So Billy's in his cabin alone, which he's described earlier as basically being like small enough for a bed for a 12-year-old and like a cupboard for his stuff, and it's pretty tiny. There's a little bit of resentment where he's like, Alex and Dr. D have a whole suite that they share themselves, and they can even wrestle in there.
They did say that. That's
Well, not the wrestling thing. I put that in there.
You did?
But,
You gave me a false memory. I was like, they did say wrestling.
No, they're fucking. So Sheena bursts in. I just love the idea of her like bursting into this cupboard. He probably gets smacked in the face immediately with the door. Just like this tiny little bedroom. Yeah, they're on a boat. It makes sense. It's tiny. And Sheena bursts in. The mermaids escaped. And he's just like, bum, bum, bum.
Oh my God. He's scared to death. What? She escaped? I guess that's good. I guess that's great. Go check it. Nope, she was still in the tank. Sheena was being just a little bratty biatch.
Yeah, that is like, when I heard that, I was like, oh, good. She's no longer in fucking misery. She got off the boat somehow. Sheena, you dickhole.
Yeah,
like,
that's rough. I didn't even get, it was just for a cliffhanger. It was immediately forgotten about. He doesn't hold it against her. It's just a way to end chapter 17.
Do we already pass the part where he calls her She-Ra, which is a reference no child would, like, he's like, she hates it when I call her She-Ra. It's like, RL. That show was off the air for like 10 years at that point.
RL, I like that condescending
yeah.
RL.
RL.
Well, after, Billy, he forgets that Sheena honestly just, this is the worst prank ever. He forgives her quickly because he's like, maybe I should ask her if she'll actually help me free the mermaid. Yeah, I'll do that. And as he's getting ready to be like, hey, Sheena, will you help me free the mermaid? Dr. D is like, children, you go ahead and get in the bed. Go ahead and get in there, get in the bed. Let's cut down early tonight. It'll be dark in about 7 hours. You guys need to go ahead and get in bed. So we fast forward. And Billy's in his little cabin, boat rocking, squishy, squashy. And he worries about the mermaid. He's like, man, her in the zoo, she'll just be other people's entertainment. She'll be gawked at. She won't have a life. She'll just be a prisoner. And he's thinking about that, and it's making him even more sad. But then, out in the distance, over the water, he hears a motor. Must be a boat. Or a lawnmower that can float. Nah, that's a boat. It sounds like a big boat. And he looks over at his window. The boat's kind of pulled up close to him at this point, and he watches 4 shadowy figures board the Cassandra. And he's like, I don't think that's the zoo people. They look like their zoo boat, and there's 4 people, and they're shadowy figures. There's never been a shadowy figure that went on to do good things.
Mm-mm.
Then from outside, he hears a thud, a thump, then a muffled cry of pain from where the mermaid was. And then, goddamn, it sounds like they're hurting her. Gum, gum, gum.
He runs to the deck. This is also the part, kind of like in Secret Tomb of the Mummies, where like once it starts being like grown-ups doing bad things to kids, like it's like this feels too, I don't know if I like this anymore. This is a little too much. Because all of a sudden, for some reason for me, like when like adults are introduced to a Goosebumps book who have ill intent, I feel like they could die. Like this is a situation where I'm going to assume that death is actually a real risk now. Like no, that's not a cartoon funny monster. Like, and it won't be pleasant. But anyway, run to the deck. They run to the deck. All 4 men are wearing masks over their faces. Also a bad sign that they don't mean well.
Yeah.
But it also means that they're probably planning to leave someone alive. You don't cover up your identity if you're planning on murdering everyone, because then, why go to the trouble of being all itchy and like, ugh. Like they're wearing probably wool ski masks in the Caribbean or Caribbean. I'm not sure which pronunciation is more correct. I see Dr. D sprawled out on the deck. He's been bumped on the noggin. All of his science brains are about to spill out everywhere.
Oh, God.
Billy's like, who are you? And there's just like, fuck you, kid. Don't even react to him. fish. They take out the mermaid with the net, because what they do is they take a net, drop it, and like drape it over her inside, and then scoop her. I'm not sure how they actually process. It worked though. Whatever they did, they get her up in a net. Start to take her out of there. Mermaid is really upset now. This is not bad day for Mermaid. And all because she tried to do a nice thing.
Yeah.
Although, let's be honest, she was probably harvesting him for his genetics so that they stop being so inbred in the mermaid land. That's probably how they mate. So she was probably about to like take Billy. But that's my own personal theory.
Mermaid zoo?
And I started writing a story from her perspective. But anyway, Billy's just like, Alex DeVry, you need to help us. And then he goes after the men, and they're just like, boop. Like, it's literally like, it's great because there's all this like, I'm going to get him, I have to do something. And it's described by Billy as being like, and then the guy just kind of reached out and flicked me against a railing. Just like, because I'm a 12-year-old. Like, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, he was bouncing off of them, just ping, pong, ping. They weren't phased at all. They also weren't being aggressive toward the kid, which was a real Goosebumps decision that those adults were going to ignore and never hurt the kid. But
I mean, I'd like to believe that mermaid snatchers aren't necessarily also kid killers. Like, you know,
right. Like, yeah, they're there for a reason. They're
that small. Just like one of them's just screaming and not doing anything. The other one's being like, I'm going to get you. And you're just like, boop. Like, at that point, I mean, we do find out they do have murder on their minds. But Billy's just been flicked against a rail, and he's just like, nah. It's time for William Deep Jr. to step forward. Stop, I yelled. You can't do that. Then I totally lost it. Without thinking, I dove toward the four of them. I don't know what I planned to do. I just knew I had to stop them. One of them pushed me away easily with one hand. Stay away or you'll get hurt, I guess, he muttered. Let her go! Let the mermaid go! I cried frantically. Forget about the mermaid, said the man. You'll never see her again. I don't know why I'm giving him a reading like he's...
I love it, though. I think it's perfect. He's the heartless man.
Well, I also love, like, for him, this is not a dramatic moment. For Billy, it's like, ah, 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 like in his head. It's this huge dramatic moment for Billy. And for this guy, she's like, we're just taking a fish from one boat to another boat. And then I'm going to get a lot of money. And then I'm going to drink a lot and maybe fuck some hookers. What is your problem? I grabbed the rail. My heart was pounding in my chest. I gasped for breath. I couldn't stand the mermaid's terrified screams. I couldn't let them take her, not without a fight. She had saved my life once. Now it was my turn to save hers. But what could I do? I lifted the mermaid out of the tank. 3 men held her in the net. She squirmed and thrashed like crazy, splashing water all over the deck. I'll tackle them, I thought. I'll knock them over. Then I'll push the mermaid into the ocean and she can swim away to safety. Lowering my head like a football player, I took a deep breath and ran right at them. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got told by his sister. She said, Billy, stop. You're not you're a piece of shit. Don't even try it. And then Billy was already moving, and he crashed into the guy holding the net, and hit him hard in the stomach with his head. And that guy didn't even budge. That guy was like, would you seriously stop? Your sister was even telling you to stop. Will you stop right now? Seriously, we're trying to... What the other guy said about the fish thing. We're trying to move it to a different boat. It's not a big deal. Just stop.
Yeah, it's a fish transplant. It's fine.
Yeah, and Billy won't give it up. He's like, nah, yes, that's my sweet mermaid girlfriend. Would you please? And so the guy picks up Billy. He's tired of the bullshit and just drops him in the tank. He's like, well, okay, now look, you're a mermaid. Go fuck yourself. And then
perfect solution to the problem too. Like, hey.
I love that part. It's not great for Billy, but the idea of him being like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put that boy in there. So good. So he drops this chapter's not even a full page, but I'm gonna draw it out. So they toss the mermaid on their boat. So now we've had the mermaid switch. Billy continues to scream for Alex to help. He's like, "Where are you, son of a bitch? Help us! God damn! Seriously, there's 2 kids out here. There's 4 grown men. You're our only hope." And then Alex appears. Oh, thank God. Now there's 3 men. There's 4 men total. 3 of them are still on the Cassandra. Or 3 of them are on their own boat with the fish, and 1 is still on the Cassandra. So there's 1 guy, And Alex runs up to the man, and Billy's like, oh, fuck yeah. Because, it said over and over again, Alex has got that athletic body. He's a big, stout guy. He's like, man, if he lowered his shoulder and this guy could knock him off the boat, really fuck his shit up. So Alex runs up, and Billy's like, oh yeah, get him, lower him, kill that motherfucker. And then Alex slows down and just grabs the man's shoulder, and he's like, hey, is the mermaid safely on board? What? What the fuck? And the guy's like, he just nods. He's like, yeah, of course, you can see. Look, come over here and look. You see that fucking mermaid on their boat? Yeah, we got the mermaid. And he's like, okay, all right. Have you got the money for me? Said Andrew in a slightly different voice than we've established from earlier, because now he's serious and mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The guy's like, yeah, got it. He's like, all right, well, let's get out of here with this mermaid that we're all stealing together. Bam, 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 double-crossed.
Billy looks at Alex, tears in his eyes. How could you, Alex? How could you do this? It's just business. They're offering us $20 million. Do the math, Billy. Do the math! 20 million is a lot more than 1 million.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was just starting to do the math, then you answered it, so thank you.
But Dr. D stirs on the deck. Alex doesn't notice because he's too busy telling a small child that this horrible thing that's happening is perfectly acceptable because it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
But then Dr. D I got so excited. I'm sorry. I need to do that over. Dr. D fucking fuck. Look, hold on. Give me a second. Dr. D reaches out, grabs Alex by the ankle, and he falls down. Alex takes just crashes to the deck, his muscular form making a loud crash. Two masked men grab Dr. D around his thick D. But then Sheena's like, I should probably help. Charges over to them and is quickly pinned because she's a 10-year-old. Like, she's not even as potent as a 12-year-old. And Billy's like, kick her! Kick him! Sheena, you gotta kick him with your feet! And Sheena's like, all right! And she's kicking him. And not much is happening.
I would like the record to reflect that Dylan did kick in his seat in that moment.
Yes, as if I was being held up in the air. And so I was wiggling my feet. And then these guys are just like, oh boy, let's just kill him. I mean, it's they're kind of annoying. They made this take like, I don't know, 3 minutes longer than it should have. And it's just better safe than, it's just good. It's just good. I'm sorry, into the drink. So they put Dr. D and Sheena into the tank, and they're all in there together. And Dr. D is too short. He's about child size, I'm assuming. And so none of them can get out of the tank. Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. And then not only that, they're not just going to leave him in the tank. They're going to go a step further. They're going to clamp the lid on it. And now the lid is clamped. The lid is described in a multitude of ways that I had a hard time envisioning. And just so you know, this tank is actually, I believe it's a cylinder. It's like I believe. I could have just imagined that. But they put this lid on. And the water in the tank is 6 feet deep. So as Dylan was alluding to, maybe Dr. D, if he's a bit over 6 foot, might be able to get a toe down on the bottom. But he's still going to have to come up for air. So everybody's got to kick to stay afloat so they can breathe in this thing that's got 6 feet of water in it. And the men, here we go, we're going to murder a family. They take the tank and they toss it over the Cassandra and into the water where it undoubtedly sink and kill everyone.
I'm going to call a little bit of bullshit on this. Like, this feels like the tree situation for me. We don't have the full volume of this tank, but water is fucking heavy.
Water's heavy, and you got 3 humans in there.
3 humans, yeah. I feel like, because they're like, all right, all together on 3. I feel like R.L. Stein's just like, as long as you have at least 3 people, or as long as you have 2 people, because it was just the kids who knocked over the tree, right? As long as you have 2 people pushing in a concerted effort,
anything.
You can move mountains.
Anything.
Move mountains, big trees, big fucking huge trees. 1, 2, 3. Boom.
Boom.
Same with a tank of water filled with thousands of gallons of water. It's just a little, boop, just right off the edge.
Right off the edge. And it works. They are in the water in this tank. and water is seeping into it. Because I don't think the lid is a seal. I think it has a mesh covering so water can go in and out. And they hear the boat out in the distance roar away, and they've been left to die in the water here in chapter 22. Bum, bum, bum.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure how this tank is not... I don't see how the tank is sinking, because either it's heavy enough to sink immediately, or it'll float, and maybe water's coming in over the top, which I guess maybe what's happening here. Because if you drop it in the water, it's either going to sink or not sink once it hits the water, unless there's holes in the tank or something. But I'm guessing maybe, we'll assume waves over top. It's choppy out in this lagoon, which is not known for being choppy, but we're just so.
That's how you run out of spackle. You're like, I'm out. I got
So Billy finds a latch though on the inside of the tank. They can't get the ones on the outside. He's super excited. He's like, oh no, I can't get it open. It's jammed shut. And then Dr. D's like, oh, if only we had something to pry this. And Sheena's like, I've got a barrette. And Dr. D's like, give me that barrette. Good job, Billy and Sheena. We're going to get the fuck out of here. Pops the little latch, and they try and open it, and it's still stuck because there's two other latches on the other side of the tank. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like, and it's such a moment of just like, come on, man. Could you find a better way to like... I did like that all three of them were in, like Billy's like, I found the latch. I didn't give up hope. And Dr. D's like, great. I'll try to use my superior grown-up abilities, but I need something to pry at it. Like, and Sheena's like, oh, I got it. And it's just like, it's almost like she has the power and she's holding up the sword.
Everybody's involved. Ah, nice.
I don't know if I can't remember what She-Ra said. I'm assuming it's not I have the power because that was He-Man. But
she's like,
she said something, right?
Power. I don't know.
So, but they're basically admitting to themselves they're going to die by drowning altogether in a water coffin. Or a sea coffin.
They're gonna die. A sea death.
But I mean, it's called a burial at sea. I don't feel like you're that off by just putting sea in front of everything. So, but things start to get a little... Well, it's not really fishy. Things get fucking weird. The water had risen nearly to the top of the tank. Soon it would come rushing in on us. Suddenly, the ocean darkened. The waters grew choppy, and the tank rocked a little faster. What's that noise? Sheena asked. I listened. Through the churning of the water, I heard a strange sound. It's very faint, as if coming from far away. A shrill, high-pitched whistle. Sounds like a siren, Dr. D murmured. Lots of sirens. Oh! Like in Greek mythology, that's probably what he's referencing.
It's funny that you know enough about Greek mythology, and I was like the sirens from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Because that's my Greek mythology.
I mean, that's
based, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's...
that's literally what I think of. Anytime someone references Greek mythology, I only think of the Oh Brother, Where Art Thou version of it.
I mean, it's a good version of it.
Because I'm a simple man. Yeah.
I love that.
I'm a man of constant sorrow. So
I love that song. I have at least 2 playlists with that song, and also Down the River to Pray with the Sirens.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, great movie.
Thanks.
Great.
Wait, why'd I say thanks? I didn't make it.
I don't. I mean, are you a Coen brother? Coen brother? The eerie wails rose and fell over the water, louder, closer. The sound, as shrill as the screech of metal, surrounded us. Suddenly, dark, shadowy forms swirled around the tank. We pressed our faces to the glass. That sound, I've never heard anything like it. What can it be? Asked Dr. D. It's coming from all around, I stammered. The dark water tossed, churned by the shadowy forms. I peered through the foam, straining to see. Suddenly, out of the murky water, a face appeared. It pressed itself against the glass, right in front of my face. I gasped and pulled back. And I saw more faces. We're surrounded by small, girlish faces. Their wide eyes peered in at us menacingly. Mermaids! I shrieked. Dozens of them! Dr. D murmured in hushed amazement. That wasn't hushed amazement either. God damn it. Have you ever listened to an audiobook and you realize that the reader didn't do a read-through the first time? And so he gets to like, I hate all of you, said Gary, stuttering nervously. Shit! Like, he clearly didn't do the read like it should have been. And then after that, it's like, oh, with his high-pitched voice. So... Dozens of them! God damn it, I did it again. Dr. D murmured in hushed amazement. They churned the water with their long tails. Their hair, dark tangles in the black water, floated around their faces. The tank rocked harder and harder. What do they want? Cried Sheena, her voice shrill and trembling. They look angry, Dr. D whispered. Really can't help saying it like that. I stared out at the mermaids, swirling around us like ghosts. They reached out their hands and began clutching at the tank. They smacked their tails on the water. The dark waters tossed and churned. Suddenly, I knew what they wanted. That D, I murmured. They've come for Dr. D's D. Revenge, I murmured. They've come for revenge. We took their friend, and now they're going to pay us back. Bum, bum, bum.
Which is reasonable. Reasonable.
Yeah. Oh, I think they should all die. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, except for Billy. Billy, he didn't know he was a narc.
He didn't know. Dr. D cries that he's like, oh shit, they're pulling us under. Kids, hold your breath. Doesn't matter, we're going to die. So you either die out of breath or you won't. Do what you want. Then the tank they're in suddenly just rises up out of the water. What the fuck? Turns out the mermaids, they were doing that whole little dance down there. They were trying to get a good grip on this thing so they could lift it. And they saved him. Pulled him up out of the water. And they popped the lid off. They even drag it over near the boat, pop the lid off, let all three climb back onto their boat, almost like mermaids know what boats are for and what's going on here. Put it all together. And so they try to have a conversation with these mermaids. As we've established, mermaids haven't spoken a word of anything yet, but they're pretty confident they can get this point across. So they're like, hey, we want to save your friend. I'm sure they're doing charades that are not comprehensible. We want to save your friend, but we need your help to do it. She's on boat, far away. We're here. We love her. She's sad. We're sad. We would like to go help you get her. And they're like, all right, fucking calm down. All right, we're going to select a leader here, and then one of them floats out or swims out, and she's whistling and clicking. She's like, I'm the leader. Whistle, whistle, click, click. And they're like, okay, all right. And they're talking, and then the mermaids, they seem to all agree that they'd like to help each other, and the mermaids are like, all right. And so they swim off. They're like, we know where she's going. We're going to follow the scent. We follow the whatever scent mermaids leave, we'll follow that. And Dr. D is like, you know what? It's just suddenly occurred to me. I don't know if we go out there and there's attackers are there. Those fishy kidnappers are there. I don't know that me, an adult man in my upper to mid 40s/50s, who knows? It's ambiguous. And two children under the age of 13 could take on a group like that with our sheer power and will. I don't think, and then you throw in Alex. Alex is such a strong, athletic boy. I just don't. I'm second guessing it. You know what? I should call the police. It's weird I just had this idea. I probably should have done it sooner. Well, if I do, let's say I do call the police. Billy, look at me. I'm trying to think out loud. Look at me, son. Let's say I do call the police on a telephone that I didn't tell you we had. Or maybe some radio.
That sounds like a good idea, Uncle D.
Yeah, let's say I do that then. And I tell them, they pick up and they're like, hello, what's your emergency? We're the sea police. I say, hello there. I've had a mermaid, and now that my mermaid's gone, but I know who took her, and I'd like you to help. They're gonna laugh.
Why did you start off? Where is this voice going? He's Australian now. You realize you've crossed 3 continents.
I'm a traveled man. I like to travel. I love a good seafaring accent.
Yarr.
But, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't call the police. I'll just confuse them. They're very easily confusable, those police. Especially the sea ones. They don't get a lot of action.
Yeah, fuck the police, Uncle D.
All right, Billy. You calm your tits. And then they're like, they get it back together. They get the dinghy. Yeah, that's why they really call him Dr. D. He's got a nice dinghy. So.
It really is just about the dinghy.
I hope that...
He's like, no, the dinghy. And he's like, yeah, your dinghy. We got it, Dr. D. He's like, no, my dinghy. Like,
I do hope the dinghy has Dr. D written on the side. So they all get in the dinghy. They speed off toward the mermaids went. I don't know how anybody knows where anybody's going because the mermaids were way out of sight. So everyone's floating around trying to find one another. But 20 minutes later, they arrive at a deserted cove.
I got a little reading I'm going to do here, and it says, So they get at the cove. Now, Dr. D cut the motor so the kidnappers wouldn't hear us approach. They must be asleep, he whispered. Because, kidnappers, after they do a good kidnapping, they'll go right to bed. They don't stay awake and talk about it or update Facebook or anything.
These are very serious, boring kidnappers. They're like, yeah, we got the fish. Alex is like, let's do some, you guys want to do keg stands? And they're like, we're professionals, you piece of shit.
We're kind of tired, son. So, Sheena's like, how can Alexander sleep after what he did to us? He left us to drown. Great point, Sheena. I don't know. Cold-blooded killer, I guess. Money can make people do terrible things, Dr. D replied in a different accent, but also sad.
I feel like there's an underlining sociopathy on top of the money. I feel like you don't just offer $20 million and, yeah, I'll kill 2 kids. I feel like there's something else going on there.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's good they think we're dead. They won't be expecting us. Or when I show up as Sean Connery, they're going to be really... they're going to be like, what? I didn't know that was him. It'll be me. It's me from The Rock. But where's the mermaid? I whispered, staring at the dark boat, bobbing gently under the misty moonlight. We drifted silently toward the darkened boat. Well, we found the kidnappers, I thought, holding on to the side of the dinghy as we drew near. There's just one problem. What do we do next? Dum. That's a cliffhanger. Is like, Harlstein was like, where do I take the book? I don't know. Dum for me. I gotta figure it out.
Blah! Billy's like, where'd all the mermaids go? Because I don't see any Oh, wait, I see one mermaid, but it's his friend who they never bothered to name with something vaguely condescending or weird.
I thought that the whole time. They should have named her.
Yeah, it would be like, I'm gonna call you Ariel. And she's like, that's fucking stupid.
Very
Call
derivative.
her Bridget. Like, what?
Oh, that's
her name's Bridget.
I like it.
No, now it's Bridget. So Bridget has been... it makes it so much worse now. Bridget is tied to the boat, probably not breathing very well, getting that airflow over her gills. Does she breathe through gills? How does she breathe? Oh my God, we need to dissect her. Oh no.
Look what you've done.
I'm Dr. D.
A couple $1 billion and a good X-Acto knife, and we've lost Dylan.
But then the other mermaids go to untie her. I'm just like, none of you motherfuckers got a good knife on you? I feel like these mermaids are carrying a switchblade up their
Our sharp
fish
fin.
tank.
Sharp fin?
Yeah, something. Just slap the ropes off. That's all they can actually do is heal people and slap ropes. Or just slap with their tails. But Dr. D says we'll stay to make sure they get out of here. Just stay quiet, stay down here. And again, I like the realism that they're not doing a great job at rescuing this mermaid like Dr. D and the 2 kids. This is not like the fucking Hardy Boys or wherever, where it's just oh yeah, don't worry, Fenton. We're gonna take on this crime syndicate by ourselves and be okay, and no one will die. Instead it's just okay, we're just gonna stay in the shadows and hide and hope that they solve the problem. I don't have a solution if they don't, though. Don't worry about it.
I also was thinking, why did they even have to come? It seems like the mermaids had it. The mermaids were going to sneak in, cut their
they didn't know she was in the water.
I guess.
They might have had a tank on the boat. They knew they were coming to pick up a mermaid, because Alex probably told, guys, I have a 5 to 6 foot, I don't know how tall she is, because she has a tail. She's not walking on legs. Maybe she's 5 feet long,
who knows?
Whatever. And they're just yeah, we're not buying a tank. Just put her in the water. We'll tie a rope around her, whatever the fuck. And she's all right. But Dr. D and the kids are hanging out, making sure that nothing happens, and God only knows what they're going to do if something happens. And then a lit torch appears above them, and they hear, what do you think you're doing? Ugh.
Yeah.
Just so I was trying to go to bed, and now I've got to kill 2 kids and an old man again. Bum, bum, bum.
He doesn't even think they're the same ones. He's like, 2 more? Didn't sign up for this. I don't even understand where people are right now, because Billy and Sheena and Dr. D are on their boat, which I imagine was a decent distance away from the boat that the mermaid was attached to, which I assumed they were on a shore of some sort in the cove, or maybe they were on the boat. Either way, it doesn't matter. I imagine there would be separation. But somehow the torch is thrust in Billy's face. They're close enough to where they can hit Billy with the torch. I don't know how that happened. But I won't, we don't need spackle. We'll just move on. So Billy ducks. He's like, oh shit, I got hit by a torch. Did you guys see that? And the kidnappers,
They do a real kidnapper move here. The kidnappers go, finders keepers, which I thought was great. That's a
Finders
it's ours
keepers.
now. Finders keepers. Could love that line. And which is, I mean, if it's sea law, finders keepers. If it applies out here, then we got to go. You know, it's theirs. They found it. They get to keep it. But just rub it in. Takes that torch. Boom. Sets their what I imagine is an extremely flammable dinghy on fire. Uh-oh, we're all burning alive on the water. Dum, dum, dum.
One of the worst things that can happen to a wooden ship in warfare was fire, as you might imagine. So they're actually employing a time-honored tradition that goes back to the inventions of ships and fighting man on other ships. The use of anyway, so the boat's on fire, and everyone's getting a little wigged out. Dr. D's like, Billy, use this life jacket to get out the flames. Sheena, find the water bucket and start, like he's ordering them around like he's on land and all he has is a boat filled with toy boats, or a tub filled with toy boats. He's giving orders. They're working on it too. Sheena's like, she just hops to. She's like, starts putting out the water with things. Billy's like, not smacking the flames like he's a mermaid fighting a shark. But then the boat is obviously like leaving. The kidnappers are like, see you later, suckers. We're gonna go.
I like they didn't have a good line. They're like, see you later.
Yeah.
We're gonna dip.
But then the kidnapper, whoa. Where's the mermaid? God bless it. So then they're just like, the mermaid's gone, Bridget. And so they're, all right, so these three must have done something with the mermaid, because it's not like a flotilla of mermaids just came by and took her. So, like, he reaches down and grabs Billy. I don't know if this was some sort of, like, thug instinct where he's like, I'm sure this boy has formed a bond with Bridget the mermaid. And he's just like, what did you do with the mermaid? Keep in mind that we clearly don't really care about killing children, and or Dr. D, the famous Dr. D, as we like to call him in prison. And Billy's just like, I don't really understand any of what you just said. He's trying to get away. Dr. D is engaged in hand-to-hand sort of combat with another kidnapper. He's ducking and diving. He's not throwing any punches. He's just trying to stay out of the way of this club, because he's already been hit on the noggin once tonight, and he's got to keep all the sides of his brains unscrambled. Mm-hmm. Dr. D is just like, stop murdering children. Alex, they're murdering children. Like I understand $20 million is a lot, but Alex is just being like, standing and watching like a boat filled with children on fire. Like it's a bit much. I feel like Alex was never a good guy. No. I don't think the money changed him, Dr. D. I think Alex was kind of a bad person. And I'm sorry that those long nights on the ocean together didn't reveal that to you.
Wrestling in your suite.
The wrestling in your sleep. But meanwhile, like, Billy was helping to put out the fire, but now he's in the kidnapper. He's like, Sheena, you gotta get the fire. The fire's trying to pick back up again. Sheena manages to get over there, put more water down. Kidnapper knocks the bucket out of her hand, because he's like, this was my plan. You're ruining my plan. Please stop trying to put out the fire in your boat. I'm trying to kill you with this. Sheena's just like, nuh-uh. And she takes like a life jacket and she just goes to town and puts out the rest of the flames all by herself. She might be an asshole 90% of the time, but she gets to work. Like, she saved this boat. But then, just as all hope looks pretty bad, because it's, again, 2 children and Dr. D, he only has one superpower.
And 1D.
And it's being a fish scientist.
Ah.
And, but then the boat that the kidnappers are on suddenly rocks violently, and the kidnapper holding Billy's like, whoa, and drops Billy down, and their boat just starts rocking crazily back and forth. Like it's almost being capsized by, I don't know, a shit ton of mermaid tails doing some damage below the waterline. Dr. D's like, mission accomplished. And he's like, okay, George Bush. And then they just get out of there. He's like, it's like, you don't know anything's been, you're just like, okay, we can get away without me having to explain to my brother why both of his kids are dead. Billy's looking back. He sees the boat just going, I'd like to think that they capsized that boat and ate everyone on board.
Oh.
The mermaids. It's not explicitly stated in the text, but we never hear from them again. And you think they're just going to be like, never bother. Like, I feel like the very next day they're going to show up and be like, where the fuck's the mermaid? We want $20 million. They're dead.
Yeah, they're dead.
100%. Yeah. And they were devoured, screaming and alive by mermaids.
Good.
Like the next time Billy sees Bridget, she's just got like little bits of meat sticking out of her teeth. And she's like, ah! And he's like, oh, I didn't know that was my kink. But then he sees the flotilla of mermaids swimming off, and I think Bridget must be the only one with blonde hair because he like zeroes in. He's like, oh, he sees her with them. It's like, really? Just because it sounds like there's a shit ton of them. I don't know. At a certain point, it became like there's 100 of them. I feel like that's probably inaccurate. But Billy's super happy. He got what he wanted because he never really wanted to catch her. Like, after he met her, he's just like, I don't want her to be caught. This seems kind of ridiculous. He looks like a people. Except for the fish thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like the moment you hear, like, oh, we have a mermaid, it's like, isn't that half of a person? Like, I don't think you can put people in zoos just because they look a little different below the waist. Like, I feel like that's a no-no now. Like, we don't have freak shows anymore for that reason. Anyway, Dr. D is like, don't worry. We'll look for her tomorrow. We know where to find her now.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And Sheena and Billy are just like, that's a little fucked up, Dr. D. She just...
How about we don't find her anymore? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, Bridget's, like, super cool. It's like, stop calling her Bridget. She's test subject A. Oh, no. I do like that there's this note. We get back to the Cassandra. It's the next morning. Sheena and Billy are making breakfast because with Alexander gone, they had to make their own breakfast. It's like, Jesus Christ, you hated his breakfasts. Like, anyway.
Peanut butter.
So they're talking about, like, do you think the mermaid's okay? Do you think Bridget made it home okay? Billy asked Sheena, he's like, if someone gave you $20 million, would you show him where the mermaid lives? He's like, no, I wouldn't want to do that because only Monster would want to capture a mermaid. He's a great guy. I can't imagine you want to vivisection her after, like, all that happened last night. But then Billy hears the sound of a motor. Now, there's been the sound of a motor twice in this book. One time led to thugs kidnapping mermaids. The other time was the zoo people.
Yeah.
So there's a moment of fear. Sheena and Billy run up to the deck, dropping spoons everywhere. They're like, oh no, is it the bad guys? Dr. D's on the deck too. They're watching, and it's the zoo people.
Oh, phew. I was worried that...
Don't worry.
Okay, good.
And they're called the zoo people. Like, I feel like it's such a weird, like, it's the zoo people. It's like, who are they? The cure? Who are these zoo administrators? Like,
yeah, it's like the cable guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the zoo people. You know, they come door to door asking people to find mermaids for them. And Billy's like, oh my God, is Dr. D, is he gonna take the money from them? And they get on the boat and they're like, oh, we heard from the fisherman that you found the mermaid. And Dr. D is, you heard from the fisherman that oh right, because they told everyone in town. I was like, I'm buying supplies to feed my mermaid. And they must have told everybody, like, here's your check for $1 million. This whole scene kind of feels like how a child would describe this. It's just like, we have made a bargain to give you $1 million for finding a mermaid. Here is check for $1 million. Where is your mermaid? Like, there's no contract agreement. There was no, like, kind of like some sort of invoice scene for, like, equipment used or damaged or lost in the pursuit of this. Like, there's nothing. It's literally, here's $1 million. And Dr. D reaches out to take the check. He says, thank you very much. The vivisection will be most excellent. Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, shit. Dr. D is just a dirty one. That's what the D stands for, Dr. Dirty. He says in his best Sean Connery accent, because that's where I've settled, $1 million means a great deal to me and my work. Dr. D said, your zoo has been very generous. That's why I'm sorry I have to do this. He raised the envelope and tore it in half. The two zoo people gasped in surprise. I can't take the money, Dr. D said. Just what are you saying, Dr. Deep? Mr. Showalter demanded. You sent me on a wild goose chase, my uncle replied. I have searched these waters thoroughly ever since you left. With my equipment, I searched every inch of the lagoon and all the surrounding waters. I am now more convinced than ever before that mermaids do not exist. Yay! I screamed to myself. I wanted to jump up and down and cheer my head off. Which would have been weird. It's like some boy would be like, oh, fuck yeah, mermaids don't exist. Like, they're like, what's wrong with this kid? He's like, but I stayed hidden with Sheena behind the cockpit.
But what about the fishermen's stories? Miss Wickerman protested. The local fishermen have told mermaid stories for years, Dr. D told her. I think they believe they've really seen mermaids rising through the mist on foggy days, but what they have seen are only fish or dolphins or manatees or even swimmers. Because mermaids don't exist. They're fantasy creatures. Mr. Showalter and Miss Wickman both sighed in disappointment. Are you sure about this? Mr. Showalter asked. Completely sure, my uncle replied firmly. My equipment is very sensitive. It can pick up the tiniest minnow. We respect your opinion, Dr. Deep, Mr. Showalter said with some sadness. You're the leading expert on exotic creatures. That's why we came to you in the first place. Thank you, said Dr. D. Then I hope you'll take my advice and drop your hunt for a mermaid. I guess we'll have to, said Miss Wickman. Thank you for trying, Dr. Deep. They all shook hands, then the zoo people got back on their boat and motored away. And now Billy and Sheena are so excited. They're proud of Dr. D. Oh, our uncle's a smart guy. He cares for the mermaid. He's not weak to money. And they all talk about it. Dr. D's like, look, we can't talk about this. This is a big secret between Dr. D and his favorite niece and nephew, okay? Which is weird, because I just told you earlier, I told the whole town about the mermaid, but they probably think I'm a crazy guy, and they won't believe it. And there are now 5 missing people who were last out here at the lagoon. We will be investigated. Children, please keep your mouths shut about the mermaids.
You know who you sound like? You're doing Jack Black's accent from
I am.
Goosebumps movie.
I did it. I nailed it. That's where he got it. That's where I got it. These mermaids and our murder of 5 men cannot, maybe it was 4 men, I lost count in the dark, but cannot escape us, children. We must be quiet. And they're like, all right, fine, Dr. D, you keep, I feel like the episode should be ending soon. Quit harping on it. And he's like, okay, fair, fine.
It's definitely 5 because it was 4 kidnappers and Alex.
And 1 Alex, okay. Later, we fast forward next day, whatever. Billy gets into the lagoon. He gets an idea that he wants to go tell the mermaid. He wants to say thank you. He wants to tell her goodbye. He never felt like he got to say a proper goodbye. There's a lot of things going on with the fiery dinghy and whatnot. And so, the last reading, I was just past the reef when I felt a playful tug on my leg. Sheena, I thought, has she been following me again? I spun around to catch her. No one there. Seaweed, probably, I thought. I kept swimming. A few seconds later, I felt the tug again, harder this time. Hey, must be the mermaid, I told myself. I turned once again to search for her. The water rippled. Mermaid, I called. Should have called her Bridget or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
A head popped out of the water. A gigantic, slimy, dark green head with one enormous eye and a mouthful of jagged teeth. The sea monster! I shrieked. The sea monster! Would they believe me this time?
Nope.
Dum 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 dum. End of the book. So that sea monster probably what the French cover. I think they did a good job.
Yeah, no, that's pretty spot on. I mean, I still don't get a sense of size in the book. Like, it seems big. Like, the dream makes it seem like it's huge, but also like it was a dream.
Yeah.
So I can't tell how big it's supposed to be. Because if it's massive, I don't think you have to worry about them believing you, Billy. I think Dr. G just needs to, a whole new island with eyes and teeth and tentacles. That's about to eat Billy.
Yeah, turn on some of
but
those
Billy's
probes.
still lying about a sea monster, that little shit.
Get those sonar probes working. Dig it up. So what'd you think? I think it was much better written than the last couple in terms of like, I don't know. I felt like the last 2 felt flat to the point where we did blame it on the ghostwriter to an extent. Monster Blood and the Bees. They just didn't feel right. But this one felt very R.L. Stein. The dialogue was witty and great. I felt like the world building was good. It was a really good story. Not spooky in a way that you and I maybe appreciate because it focused more on the mermaid than the sea monster. But all in all, I feel like it's a solid book, a solid read. It was entertaining to the end.
Yeah, I feel like this, in a lot of ways, I think I briefly mentioned it while we're recording and then more, but in the Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, Mummy Tomb Horror, whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a very kind of similar like elements in this one where it's like, it's a kid visiting his uncle in Mummy Tomb, and so you have the 2 kids visiting the uncle, and the little shithead who's in there is not his cousin, his own sister. But also, Sheena is a lot more bearable
Oh, yeah.
than Sorry. Sorry was a fucking nightmare. And the uncle is better in this book, too. The uncle isn't like some, just like, I'm going to take 2 kids down into this tomb. Enjoy the sarcophagus. Like, no.
Yeah, he's a fair bit more responsible and believable.
Yeah, he doesn't do anything more irresponsible than you would normally do with beach-going children. Like, he's like, there might be sharks. Be careful. Please don't go in the water. I mean, he kind of just lets them fuck around, whatever. But, like, it's more entertaining. You also even have, like, the human bad guy element in this one as well, where, like, the assistant for the uncle in Mummy Tomb turned on him for not profit reasons. I think that was just more to sacrifice to an ancient god or whatever. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it a lot. Like it's missing all the elements from that story that irked me or slowed it down or made it just kind of feel very solid. That book was kind of like eating like just a really dense cookie that just sat in your stomach. Like, yeah, it's still dessert. You didn't make me eat like a pound of gruel or whatever, but like it was a fucking dense ass cookie or a scone or something.
Yeah,
this is a lot of fun, and like it doesn't always have to be a monster of the week situation. I mean, there is 2 monsters, Alex and the sea monster, but no, I actually enjoyed it. This is better than average, I would say.
Yeah, I thought so too. I was going to give it 4 dinghies out of 7 dinghies, flaming hot dinghies.
I'd probably give it 8 out of 12 tentacles.
That's not bad. Was it? Yeah. What was that?
I mean,
again?
it's not really an 80%.
A 12-a-puss?
I think a dodecagon is a dodecapus.
Well, yeah. So it seems like we overall we liked it. We found something there to glom onto. Interesting trivia. This is one of 3 Goosebumps books to win a Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, if you remember those things, in 1995. I thought it was interesting that this was one of 3, and actually the sequel was another one of the 3. So Deep Trouble 2 won it in 1998. And then in 1996, the third one was one of the other sort of side entries, Even More Tales to Give You Goosebumps, like an anthology in 96. So I don't know, the Nickelodeon kids, I don't know what they were up to choosing. These don't feel like logical answers. These aren't Deep Trouble and Deep Trouble 2 never come up at the very top of the list of Goosebumps books. So I just thought it was interesting they won awards out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And then a little tidbit on the cover we didn't get to is that in Tim Jacobus's biography, he used a photo of his friend Donnie to help him draw the boy on the cover of the book. So fun little tidbit there.
So not Jacobus in jean shorts.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'm still waiting for yet another modeling pic from Mr. Jacobus.
He's the best. I got to read that biography. I kind of want to soak in all of the Goosebumps adjacent book, like it came from Ohio and all that. So I need to brush up on that stuff.
Also, for some additional housekeeping from our last episode, which was about Monster Blood 2, I mentioned one of our followers on Twitter has put together a graphic of all of Andy's outfits, and this did spoil it for me that Andy and Evan are in all 4 Monster Blood books, because there are actually graphics of all of Andy's outfits through all 4 books, and they're all insane. So if you would like a quick and easy representation of all of Andy's outfits, we have put a link in the show notes to her account for that episode. But if you don't like reading descriptions of show notes, she's on Twitter as Bro Yeah Nice. I'm assuming how you pronounce it. They have to be like, Bro Yeah Nice, but BROYEA Nice. All one word.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
It's really cool. I like that stuff. Yeah.
And thanks for letting us share that.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for listening to the show. Should we read Scott's email?
Yes, we have an email too. So we got an email from Scott.
Scott. Thank you, Scott. The email.
He just wrote in to say, I stumbled upon We Got Goosebumps just by chance recently, and after hearing one episode, I had to listen to the backlog. I appreciate they have fun with books without getting too mean-spirited at the expense of Jovial Bob. I'm glad too, because I feel like we do ride that edge. I feel like we haven't crossed that line, but the Haunted Mask always creeped me out as a kid because the ending with the brother in the mask, it caught me at the right time in my childhood to stick with me. And that was a disconcerting, the ending to that.
Yeah.
If you don't remember, Travis.
I do remember, because
I rarely remember anything.
I didn't see it coming, and you totally did.
Because I'd read that book 3,000 times when I was a child. But, I haven't checked out the other shows on Polymedia yet, but there seems to be a lot of cool-looking stuff there. And that is from Scott. And we appreciate the email.
Yeah.
Let you listen. You don't have to listen to the other shows. You can just keep listening to this one. I don't want to pressure him.
Yeah, no pressure, Scott.
Like, I don't want to pressure people. Yeah.
They're all pretty good, though. They're there for you when you're ready.
You know, it's funny. This actually works real well in a segue. But thank you for writing, Scott. We appreciate you writing in. If other folks would like to write in, our email address is super easy to remember.
Oh wait, we have an iTunes review. Can I read that?
Oh yeah.
All right, and so Scott, we appreciate that, and we also have a I don't know, Scott, if you double dipped, if you sent us an email and you rated us on iTunes as "Excuse My Juicy Belches," but if that was you or whoever you are, excuse my juicy belches. We appreciate the 5-star review from October 22nd that reads, "A great way to experience these books. 2 grown men meticulously dissecting a children's book. What's not to love? What's not to love, Dylan? I don't know. Probably all the accents. That's probably not to love."
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a fan of someone butchering a Boston-ish accent and Travis's actual accent, then I guess that's not an ideal situation. And then I'll just change how I'm talking, like episode to episode, because I'm not actually the same host. There's 3 rotating hosts who come through here.
3 Dylans.
3 Dylans.
That's right.
But no, that's a great review.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. So if you'd like to be as cool as Scott, because Scott's pretty cool, you can do exactly what Scott did and email the show at wegotgoosebumpspodcast@gmail.com. It's long, but it's in the show notes. We've already told you where those are. Scroll down. You'll see the whole thing.
You can also find the show on Twitter at SayCheeseAndPod. And I refuse to call it X. It will always be Twitter until that site finally implodes. But Say Cheese and Pod, all spelled out.
That's
It's great.
Yep.
You can interact with us there. Obviously, we enjoy seeing the things that the other folks who are into the Goosebumps put out. And it's a great time. We have a great time on the 2 times that we tweet per week. But yeah, you can also support the show at Patreon, which is available at patreon.com/polykill.
I like to say forward. I say forward. I don't know. I guess it depends.
Because I think it is forward. Yeah, / patreon.com/polykill. And you can support this show as well as the other shows on the network, and you can also listen to this one occasionally before it drops for the masses. So
that's right.
There's some benefits. You can hop into the Discord, talk to. I mean, I'm not very chatty in there. I'm kind of surly. I think would be an accurate term for me. But you can definitely message at me, and I probably won't be immediately aggressive. Travis is always friendly.
Yeah, I'm very nice. So yeah, find a tier that works for you over there. And we also have an Instagram at Polymedia and our own subreddit you can find at Polymedia Network or r/Polymedia Network. And now, Dylan, this is the penultimate episode of season 2. We got one more in the chamber before we go into our multi-month hibernation.
Wait,
so please, read us up on what's
I really do get caught off guard.
Oh,
I'm not pretending when you say like, oh, this is we're almost done this. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we are.
And like, it's not even secret. Like, it's not even have to know the schedule. It's the number of the books. And I don't know what number this one is.
This was 19. We're staring down the barrel.
I guess that makes sense.
Of number 20.
Oh, that's a bummer.
What's going on in number 20? I'm excited to find out.
Well, Jody loves visiting her grandparents' farm. Okay, so it's not the most exciting place in the world. Still, Grandpa tells great scary stories, and Grandma's chocolate chip pancakes are the best. But this summer, the farm has really changed. The cornfields are sparse, Grandma and Grandpa seem worn out, and the single scarecrow has been replaced by 12 evil-looking ones. And one night, Jody sees something really odd. The scarecrows seem to be moving. Twitching on their stakes, coming alive.